I am eating a sandwich. I apologize.
A sandwich? What's
Yeah.
in your sandwich,
Don't worry,
bro?
bro. You got time.
Is it a Vegemite sandwich?
No, it's a falafel sandwich, boys. We're
Oh,
eating.
shit.
With our falafel sandwich, bro.
What are colors?
I got it from Wabibi down the street.
That one song. That one song told me.
What up?
That one song told me you guys all eat Vegemite sandwiches. Guess I was lied to.
I definitely don't.
That shit's gross.
That's just yuck.
You guys aren't even Australian.
I'm barely Australian. I'll tell you that much. That's 100, bro.
I mean, you've got the wog part down.
Oh, 100%. I'm eating a sandwich, bro. Voila!
Gotta go back. You forgot the garlic sauce.
Mum did forget the garlic sauce, and I'm upset.
Garlic
That's
sauce is the goat.
Nah.
What?
Alright. Sober mask is ready.
I would get it. Alright, you guys know.
Oh shit.
Bob, you better have used your key on him because I ain't using no fully max limit broken sober mask.
Yeah,
I need 20 purple.
If I don't see a
20
candy
purple
cane board or
crystals.
so mask, I'm gonna just delete you at that point.
Yeah.
Like fuck it, right?
I need
Exactly, puppy.
20 purple crystals and he's done.
Buy them from the shop.
20.
I can't. I'm midway through a run.
Have you guys got a 5K drop yet?
Nope.
I've got one.
bro, I got the secret map. I got 4 1K drops in a row, and I wanted to pull I was like, I wanted to pull my hair out, dude. I was like, fuck you.
I mean, and I've spent so many tickets on the fucking Little Wreck materials since the keys come out.
You lose all of it. Like,
so that's why I'm trying to rank highly this treasure map so I can actually try and get some fucking materials like stocked up. So I'm going for top 100, hopefully. That's if like I got work tomorrow though, so that might put a dent in my plans.
I just gave up. I got 7 mil, and I was like, I'm done.
I'm just hoping people like since it doesn't end till Tuesday for us, I'm hoping people like towards the end are like, yeah,
Everyone's
okay,
up.
burnt out a bit. You know what I mean?
I'm fucking sick of 4-day TMs, dude.
Bro, bring back 3-day TMs.
Well, I like him in the sense that like because that's what I used to do when I used to try and rank really high. Is like I farm the first day out heaps, so I've got like a substantial lead. Then I take a couple days off because that's when the other people are going to farm and eventually burn out.
Yep.
And then you farm the last day and a half, 2 days.
Yep.
And then you'll make top 100, or if it depends on how much you farm, you might even make like top 50.
Easy money.
Well, that's if you got all the boosters.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Just just make it 3 days. It ain't hard. 3 days, easy money.
Make it on days where I'm not fucking working, please.
Make it 3 days of ranking and then 4 days of do whatever the fuck
I think that's a really, really good idea. Honestly, when you said that, I was like, yep, I agree. That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And like, even if like you got nothing else on, or you just have like extra TM stamina, you could like farm it for materials or
exactly.
Whatever.
Gives you 4 days to just continue farming for mats if you really want to. If you're done with the TM in the first day, you're done. You know, like if you don't want to farm, you don't have to farm it. There's no pressure.
Exactly. But no.
Yeah, but Bandai just says fuck it and gives you 110 gems compensation though, pretty much. Like, I don't give a shit. They don't know what the hell they're doing in that office.
I'm very, very happy for the compensation. Compensation kind of lit.
50 gem compensation and then plus 20 onto all the other ranks was insane.
Oh, yeah.
That was way too much. Like, I ain't complaining, but it was, honestly, God, it was absurd. It was an obscene amount of gems that they handed out.
Yep.
I was so pissed. I got kicked out of the top 100 last minute.
People were pushing in that
People
last
would've gone
hour or so. People were really pushing.
Yeah, it was difficult. And
I was pissed because I had to work, so I didn't have much choice.
But at least it was really fun.
You know what else is really fun though? Another episode of GGP. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Good Grade Perfect.
I forgot we were doing this.
What?
That's the usual.
I was just having fun talking to you guys.
Bro, you thought this guy thought if we weren't doing our job. Well, yeah, what's going on, guys? Episode 20. We're here. 2-0. We're
God
still.
damn.
I was about to say we're in the double digits. I was like, wait a minute, we've been in the double digits.
We've been, bro.
Tell you what's even more annoying. We are so close to
1K.
We are
971. As of I just checked just then.
Yeah, I was opening it up.
971.
Wait, did we go down? I feel like it was more than that.
No,
No.
yesterday evening we went down. No, sorry, yesterday morning for our time we went down to 967, and I was like, someone unsubbed, and I'm upset. And then before I went to bed, we hit 971. I was like, I bet. There's,
Oh my
we're
God,
good.
we are so close, and I was hoping we'd be there.
I was
by
hoping
this
to,
podcast.
but that's fine. It's
I mean,
gonna,
we're pretty much there. We're
I
pretty
I
much
mean, I was advertising it all over my my Twitch, and whenever I put on Twitter and Instagram so much. I want us to get there so badly. I
we're
thought we're
almost there, and
I thought we're gonna make it by number 20, but
it's
sadly
getting quite exciting.
we're just short.
Hey, someone just subbed. Thank you very much for the first.
Shout out to you.
For all that, on that though, we're very appreciative of everything you guys have been doing for us, all the likes, follows, tweets, or everything of the sort. We are very, very appreciative, as Dill and I and the rest of us have mentioned. We are eking ever so close to that 1K mark, and it is very, very exciting. And we're almost there. I like to mention as well, though, 43% of you, that subscriber button is still red. I don't know what you're doing, and it's still red, but make sure if you do enjoy or if you want to support us, you hit that subscribe button, turn that shit gray, and then also make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed any part of this podcast at all, and then make sure you can comment down below what parts you enjoyed and things of the sort. But without further ado,
guys, don't you guys know that you actually, if you press the like and subscribe button, you actually get better Sugo luck? So
hey, don't tell them that, man.
That's not hold us responsible.
That's what I just did, bro.
Hey, I have liked every single episode, and I pulled Sova Mask before the 30. So what does that tell you?
Exactly.
Same as
I mean,
Kobe,
again,
so
Kobe
there
just
it is.
did-
I just pulled
multi.
Sangoro on a 30 gem. It's true.
Yeah, Kobe just did a multi, and whenever somebody does a multi right before the podcast starts or during
The
the
podcast brings good
they
luck.
pull a
That's
new
what I'm
legend.
saying.
well,
So-
Jeremy did a multi too, and it was dog shit.
Hey, we don't talk about that.
Jeremy's
damn it.
favorite character is Carrot, so that's probably why.
Take
Yeah,
a penny,
I
leave
also
a
already
penny.
had him, so I guess it's fair.
That's true. But like all of our social medias, you can find them on Linktree. So linktr.ee/goodgreatperfect. Our Twitter, our Instagram, all they're at GGP Podcast if you just want to follow us specifically on those platforms as well. And then we're on a bunch of listening platforms as well as YouTube. So make sure you're all around there. But without further ado, I was teasing in Todd's stream that I had nothing to talk about. Psych! Of course I had something to talk about. You think I ain't prepared for this shit? We're going to go into a few different categories of the game and stuff. We're going to look at a few of the game features that like have existed for a long time. Things like Limit Break Plus and supports. And we're going to talk about like those impacts on the game itself, and then also about a bit of what super evolving does for the game, because obviously we have 6 pluses, but we've also had evidence of 5 pluses, and then we've also had 4 pluses as well, which is quite odd. But we're going to talk about where those have stacked up and how they've really pushed the game itself. GARP challenges are a thing now on global. Thank God for that. Monthly GARP challenges. So we have a nice surplus of gems coming in every month, but they've been on JP for quite a while, and we're going to have a discussion alongside that about what they've done to the game. Are they good? Could this have been done better? All those kinds of things. And finally, we're going to talk about team-based events, as the new Kizuna, Boa, and Luffy has been announced as a team-based Kizuna. So we're going to talk about that, and we're talking about other team-based events that Treasure Cruise has offered in the past, and just discuss that as a whole. And we're also going to get into a bunch, and I mean like a ton of really good viewer questions. So thank you guys for sending in a lot of questions there. Without further ado, though,
let's get into it, boys.
So I have here in the show notes talking about like Limit Break Plus and support. So obviously we've had these in the game for quite some time now, and I just want to like get your just like a quick opinion from everyone. Like, what do you guys think about like now that Limit Break Pluses and supports have been in the game for quite some time, for sure? What do you guys think about them overall in terms of like how do they positively or negatively impact the game?
Give us more materials. Just in general, just give us more materials for like whether that be adding more materials for Kizunas and as well as treasure maps, like just more rewards. If you're gonna make keys such an important thing, especially with like all the new batches, then yeah, definitely make sure to give us more mats, because like we've had like only a handful now, and like with legends such as like Soba, who desperately need the key if you want to unlock their full effect.
Yeah.
And definitely, yeah, we're other than that, then that's probably the only complaint I have.
I've got a couple of things to say. So
Go for it.
for materials, they definitely need to go past 999. I think we've said that a few times.
Yeah,
It's just the fact that like even like back in the day, if they went past 999 back in the day, we'd have so many materials that we could just, limit break expand as much as we want. So that's what I have to say about that. But then for supports, I think that they need to stop constructing content that is dedicated for supports. Like in the last Sangoro Coliseum, like supports was so important for that event.
Oh yeah.
And
How good was support? What's it called? The
uh,
Sengoku.
Yeah, well, he's just a good support just generically, but like there were lots of good utility supports that were like just really good for that event. I just think that they need to stop constructing content around relying on supports, and even still, I think with just support effects in general, I do like support effects. They give your team a lot of utility and just really nice abilities that you wouldn't get otherwise. But they also need to make it so that maybe characters that aren't used that often, like really old school rare recruits, like give them OP support effects so that they
Yeah.
actually see play.
I'm so sick of seeing support effects that are just like, oh yeah, it gives you 7% of their stats. It's like, yeah, that's shit. Can you like, how about gives effect like you got like amazing ones like the legends that get rid of bind and paralysis and all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. But why can't
Just
you just
more
have
of those.
more units that like, okay, if like you might have one support that gives you matching orb on your character even through block. Why can't you have like really old rare recruits give you like if you have their support maxed out, if your whole team has block orbs and use that person's special, it changes from block to G or block to empty or just to get rid of the block orbs. You know what I mean?
I think that's very important. Like that's a very good topic. I think for the most part, the complaints, like I think Limit Break Plus is a good addition. I don't think it was the best kind of way to approach another form of limit breaking. And supports was just really interesting because when it was announced in Japan, I was like hella concerned. I was like, Jesus, like not necessarily concerned in the sense of like, oh, it's another thing you have to max out, but more just like, how's the game going to like approach using supports and stuff? Yeah, exactly. And for the most part, it's kind of like if you want to use supports, like you can. Otherwise, you're not necessarily forced into it. But like you know, Todd mentioned earlier, a lot of the a lot of the content these days, requires particular supports, and it's not positive. But I think
Okay, I wouldn't say requires. I'd say like if you have the correct supports,
benefits,
it makes the run a whole lot easier.
100%.
Otherwise, you're like bringing like such obscure units to try and get around these effects.
It makes it so much more difficult. Like, can you imagine clearing some content without like Corazon or Rayleigh support? It means
God forbid. No way.
Even like I couldn't clear like so. For example, my Halloween X team for Sangoro, Kobe couldn't use that team because he had all the legends that I used, but he didn't have support. He didn't have Onami for the support.
Yeah.
Like
it just becomes an issue. Like I really like the idea of like looking back at older rare recruits and such, and then making their support, like making them have supports that aren't just stupidly like I think what is it? Like the other day I was thinking like Namuel. I don't know why Dex Namuel, fucking 15% HP. Who get like you know what I mean? It's very very rare in a situation that you're going to be like, I need HP. You know what I mean? Like probably 0% of the time. But imagine if Namuel could attach to any one of the Whitebeard pirates and he minus like 2 turns of chain lock as a support, you know? So instead of you having to bring an obscure character that has a support that does that, now you have the option to like, you know, all the OG Whitebeard pirate rare recruits attached to Whitebeard and Ace and Marco, like more used characters.
Yeah.
Now that you have a wider variety of, so if I want to run a Whitebeard team, now I have a lot more supports I can play around with.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say for the supports is that there's like a handful of characters that add cut units defense in half, right? Cuts their defense in half. There's very very few units that increase damage to defense cut enemies. Only like I'm pretty sure it's only like Marigold or something. There are very few units who actually do that.
Yeah,
there's also a lot of
there's a few, but not many.
There's a lot of really good supports that only attach to like very niche characters as well.
True.
Yeah.
That's the issue. That's the big issue that I like get frustrated with. Like you have this whole like Limit Break Plus is one thing, right? Like you're gonna give out keys, and it's upsetting that you know they'll never fix specials when it comes to Limit Break Plus. It would only be captain abilities, but you know it's like stats. It's just an extra like more stats and potentially a better captain or such. But supports was implemented to add an extra layer of strategy to the game. And to give supports to characters that you will literally never use, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, exactly.
It just makes no sense to me that like you know there's a lot of like obscure characters that that someone will never use on a team. Why don't they look at like because obviously we know that they have the statistics in terms of what the most used captains are and what the most like used things are. So they have those stats. So surely they should develop supports surrounding those particular characters, unless they are trying to make support so they push you to use more of your characters. I guess it's probably the only like devil's advocate excuse in a sense, but it's just not really beneficial.
So another way they could make, for example, people pulling for treasure map characters more useful, more reliable, is like give them effects that will work obviously outside the treasure map. So that what they could do is give them a actual really decent support effect that isn't such a niche requirement of who they attach to.
That's a really good idea.
Because then you'll have more incentive to pull. It's like, okay, yeah, he's really good for treasure map, but even afterwards, he gives you full body matching orbs if you meet these conditions.
Like the Shanks crew team.
Yeah, exactly.
The Shanks and Ben Beckman one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that would be
the Shanks
sick.
and Ben Beckman one. They're like the Lucky Rule and all that stuff. They make Shanks and Ben Beckman better because they shuffle the orbs.
Monet. There's that Monet that was randomly like pretty good for a lot of stuff. You know, the Ice Monet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just that generic one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Hawkins in this current TM has actually a really good special.
Bro, his special is nuts. It's like surprised to be like the second multi-boost stuff is insane. Like it's a very like I don't know like how much you use it, but at least like having that available to you is actually like really good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's overall, you know. And I guess it just kind of comes down to like maybe like so. Okay, saying all that, what do you guys think could have been done better? Let's start with Limit Break Plus first. In like approaching that, like obviously Matt's is obviously like the biggest issue with it, but aside from that, what else could be done?
I think honestly the characters that they select to get Limit Break expansion is really bad because like even on the first batch they gave the first one to like Snake Man and like Sanji and Judge. I think like they don't need a Limit Break Plus. Like hold off. Like there are definitely other characters that require them more than those.
Yeah,
and then when you're doing that as well, if you're giving some of those older ones Limit Break Pluses, buff their captain abilities no matter what. Like Whitebeard doesn't have a buff captain effect. Like all these older ones just didn't get buffed, and it was a shame.
There should be like a minimum requirement of like when it gets a Limit Break Plus, they get a minimum of a 2-turn or a 1-turn cooldown to add to their special, and their captain ability either gets a complete upgrade or like even an overhaul, like. Because how shit some of like the old legends are, like V1 Boa, Sengoku.
Even like V1 Shanks when he got his Limit Break Plus. He was an HP scaling captain. Then they changed him to a matching orb captain,
and now he's like one of the best Psy-based captains in the game, which is insane. Like,
he could actually hybrid up with like a Psy super type legend.
Exactly. You know? So
it's gonna be lit.
And then like in the future, sorry to interrupt.
No, go.
In the future, they could like do 6 pluses that if they want to hold, if they could add the super type to a 6 plus to the with the Limit Break Plus.
That was something I was going to actually bring up. Like when they ever do 6 pluses or Limit Break Pluses to buff their captain effect, give them one of those features of captain action or super typing. Something like that would be super cool.
I think like it's just hard now because like when 6 plus was first introduced into the game, like you know we didn't expect it. I don't know, like maybe they had planned to have super typing and Limit Break Plusing and like all that kind of stuff later on down the line. But for the most part, when you look at it, I feel like it's just like tacked on to stuff. Like now we say like, 6 pluses should give super typings and stuff. Like that's a great idea for the legends that don't have a 6 plus yet. But for the legends that already do have one, it's like, what do you do in that circumstance?
Yeah, they need to introduce like another feature that's like not so 6 plus, but like just like a generic upgrade.
Like literally just an upgrading system. Like
worst comes to worst, they could go from 6 plus to like
6 plus
if they want to make
something else.
Yeah, if they really wanted to, they could go to 7-star. Like
you really could. You definitely could.
And you got stuff like I hate to bring up other games. You got stuff like Dragon Ball Legends, which just increases the star amount for everyone you pull to increase their abilities, and I think they go up to like 12-star, which is a bit ridiculous. But like, I'd happily use dupes to get my character to go from a 6-star to a 7-star, and that means he gets a super typing, or that means he gets some sort of upgraded captain ability. If that means we have to wait for it, or if like you could later down the line they add like you could either pull dupes to do it, or you could buy stuff from like the Rayleigh shop.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
So they can do that, which is not that's actually not a terrible feature, but I also think that an easy way to do it would just do branched super evolutions.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
that's also because you can unevolve and then you can change it so much.
Yeah, so it means
easy
like
nowadays.
dupes would still be useful, so you can just get an additional copy. Yeah, like just that could work. Honestly, just make the unit a different color with different effects.
Yeah,
That'd be
makes
going
sense.
down a road that I wouldn't really want to be on, though. If you have to get copies to like get their max cap and ability or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
No,
but like,
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like everything like as it is fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way that units upgraded and the way that units gain extra stats and it's like it's okay. It's not the best
But
system
then
out there
again,
in terms of
when you
gachas,
really
but it's
think
alright.
about it though, like imagine pulling on a Sugo Fest and like hypothetically V2 Snake Man, but then you pull a V1 Whitebeard. Typically, you'd be pretty upset about that. But knowing that you could upgrade Whitebeard to be very, very powerful,
Now you have
that'd
like
be
a
kind of
V1 YB6 plus that
Yeah,
has
and then I won't
Dex
be-
now or some shit, you know? Like
Yeah, then I won't be saying fuck when I pull a dupe Kaido. I'll be saying,
Exactly.
oh yes, I can make another one.
you can make another one, you know? Like I mean, like I reckon the whole idea of branching is huge, you know? I think we've
But
mentioned we've
they've done
probably
it in the
mentioned this
past.
before.
They've had different evolutions in the past for
Yeah,
units. They
exactly.
could
Like
just apply
we've
to
seen
a
that.
legend.
Like so I think like Story Lucci was the huge
Yep.
one. Remember?
Yeah.
It was either use strength, like and like, or you have him as quick, and like
Quick
that
was
was
better.
that was, and then I mean like Hody was also one as well. Story
Yep.
Hody, I believe, also had branching ones,
Yep.
and I mean both those characters had different specials, I believe, and different captain abilities too. And like that's great. It gives players the option to have one or the other, or you know, for the majority of the player base, I would assume they would have both because you don't
Yeah.
know in what situation. I mean, like, look, I mean, like, you can always talk about the PvP, you know, reignited V1 White, but it's like, yeah,
But
but
for how
like,
long?
exactly, you know, you never know when the meta is going to shift and the V1 White beat doesn't become like isn't as good as he currently is. But imagine if you could, okay, I have V1 Whitebeard 6+ for PvP as the strength version, but now I can make the Psy version of him that does something else with like strikers or something like that, you know, like. It just gives the players a lot more options, and it means that, like, heck, it just means that like
Yeah, like
content can be
you
cleared a
can say-
lot more.
Yeah, you can even see like
unit.
like V1 Whitebeard 6+, if he goes to Psy, he has like a blowaway mechanic. When he uses
Exactly.
his Seek Wake, it has a chance of blowing away between 1 and 2 characters.
Something like that, you know, like just something like more unique. So like instead of like you sitting there for hours trying to find out, oh shit, I need a GARP challenge team and I can't find any, you know. But now like because there'll be so many more varieties of like the exact same legend that you have the potential to. I mean, like heck, there's the idea of like they've already implemented the you can unevolve from a 6+ to a 6-star. I'm sure it would not be that hard to just have different evolution material that allows you to evolve them into a different 6+.
Yeah, hell, just use different color skulls.
Exactly, you know, like it would really. I mean, like that does go on to our next topic of super evolving and stuff. But like, I guess like just to wrap that kind of up, what do you like? What kind of upgrading system is expected? Obviously, like Japan has the PvP one, but that's like purely PvP centric. What do you guys expect would be the next system to be implemented in terms of upgrading characters?
That's tough.
Yeah.
Just trying to come up with it.
I guess like they could introduce like so we've got like USBs and stuff for skill books. They could introduce like something like that, but like instead of like leveling up, it actually actually levels up the skill, so it does something else, and like you can earn them rewards through Kizuna or PvP or something to actually upgrade the special rather and
So kind of like the PvP thing, but like actually for
for
like
the specials.
in-game.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
would
that's-
really like them to implement a haki feature into the game somehow.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
And like make it kind of like sockets maybe, but it's like sockets for different effects, like maybe like for paralysis or something else. Like like if your character has a conqueror's
Special
haki level
silence
10,
or-
you can ignore paralysis or some stupid
Yeah,
shit. I don't know.
yeah, that's so good. That's really cool. I like that idea. Like, yeah, because
And
Conqueror's
then like
Haki.
potentially like maybe not even make it a feature like an upgraded thing. Maybe even just like apply it to a unit, kind of like a new class or
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
yeah. And there's like Armament Haki. It's sort of like barrier pen. If that's maxed out, your hit can
that'd
go
be
to a
sick.
barrier. Because
Yeah.
and your specials, if there were like damage related specials that would hit through
Yep.
like barriers and stuff. Like
That-
I mean, like I would like the next upgrade system to be something that you can farm properly. I know
Yeah.
that's asking a lot for OPTC because like it's very rare you get the opportunity to like farm for like I mean like heck if they just gave us a mode to farm for limit break materials I'd farm it every day like consistently farm that like 100 runs, you know what I mean, and so you
Yeah.
always have maximum amount of limit break mats at all times. But I would like if they were to implement the haki system that you had to upgrade your character to get that you could just farm an island, get the required mats, and then proceed to upgrade that character via that.
Oh, I was going to say something, but we're going to touch on it later, so I'll do that. But
No worries.
yeah, but yeah, no, I agree. Farming for stuff like that would be so much better, especially with the Limit Break Plus being a thing. You're pissing away materials way faster now.
Yeah,
and, like
way too quick.
between me, Limit Break Plusing Lifizora and Soba, and then
Gone. Everything's gone.
yeah, literally, I had to buy more materials to
everything's
finish
gone.
it. And then, like, when it came to the batch, I had to buy materials. And when it came to, I was lucky I had enough materials to limit break the Colosseums that came out, but only barely.
Yeah, same. Only just had enough. It's crazy.
So, like, yeah, I agree with you in that regard. Like, we need, like, I'm fine on potions. I've got 999 of medium and small, and my large potions are at 700. So
yeah, I just capped out on my large potions today.
It's just because it doesn't equate properly. Like the number of potions you use to mat. Sorry, Joe, to cut you off. But like for example, like you need 10 large potions to get you.
They'll increase the potion cap.
But you know what I mean? Like I'm just talking about in ratio sense, right? You need 10 large pots to max out a unit's like mastery points, but then you need like 100 plus limit break mats to actually max out the unit's limit break. Like it just doesn't equate like that evenly. Sorry, Joba. Please go ahead, sir.
No, I was just gonna flex my potions. It's alright.
Flex them. Flex them, sir. Hit it.
I have more large than I have medium and small. I'm full on the large ones. I can't even get more.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I try to every time I feed them, I try to feed whichever ones I have more of.
Yeah, same.
But like that, then that's what I mean.
Though, exchange potions for limit break materials.
Imagine if you could just exchange.
I'll tell you this treasure map. I keep getting rainbow chests with limit break mats, and I'm not mad. I'm like, oh sweet,
no,
yeah.
Not at all. Not at all.
Plus 3 in chunks.
Even
like,
crystals,
yeah.
hell yeah. Like no, but like just an exchanging system would be huge though. Like a jewel gets broken down into like 5 crystals, for example, and then
every jewel.
One crystal would turn into like 5 shards, and then to upgrade upwards would be 5 shards to 1, 5 to 1. Like like some sort of flowing system where like, okay, I have more jewels and I have this. I can break it down. I mean, like 7DS does it fantasally.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I haven't seen how they do it.
I mean, it's purely like you can go from the smallest one, and you can just like make it like you can just upgrade it to the biggest one.
If you have 6 of a certain rarity material, you can use 6 of them to make 1 of the next rarity up of them.
Oh,
so
that's really cool.
Yeah, so you can like sit and farm for like because it auto farms pretty much. You can auto farm all day. Cool. All right, you're done with that. And then when you need particular like the highest rarity, for example, which I think is the 6-star one, you just feed it all the way up. So you don't have to farm and hope to get a good drop. You can just farm whatever
and you
can
go the reverse way as well.
Exactly.
Now that I'm thinking more about it, like I'm thinking more so close to like Pokemon Masters does this, and so does Dokkan. Is they might just expand the limit break. So we've got limit break plus. We might just like limit break plus might mean something else.
Plus, another key.
No, what if it plus? Yeah, it could just be.
I swear to God, if there's another key, I'm a snap, bro.
I doubt that, but like it'll just like keep expanding to add different effects. I can see that happening. So once you like, you might have to, if they make it like you have to use another key, then they'll definitely make keys more common.
Yeah, watch Bullet have 3,000 attack next year.
Oh my God!
I can see it
predicting shit, man.
I can see a massive like tree just expand out.
I mean, I wouldn't. The thing is, like, that'd be fine.
I wouldn't hate that.
That'd be fine. But it all circles back to the exact same issue of
bats.
Either upgrade how much we can hold, or upgrade how many drop,
or lower the cost of materials,
or just do it both. Like literally, just upgrade both. Just have 9 like quad 9s, and then like I don't know if the pre-show we caught it in the actual pre-show recording, but Todd had a great idea of like make TM 7 days in total. Okay, relax. We don't mean 7 days of competitive farming, but 3 days of competitive farming, and then 4 days to just. If you want to farm it, you farm it. Or you didn't have time to max out the character, you have these 4 days where, like, no matter how much you farm or how many points you get, like, you'll still, like, you won't rank, So, like,
and actually, at that point as well, if there's no ranking mission, you can actually run whatever team you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And make the
So,
bosses
yeah.
not even scale either. Like,
It's
you
like
know what I
I
mean?
was watching like somebody's stream the other day, and he was in like low tier league, and he had like his whole team was literally just buggy, and then all the point boosters.
Yeah, because at that point, like, why not, right? You
Mm.
know, it's probably more efficient to do that than to farm points in East Blue. You know what I mean?
When are we getting a legend that dupe drops all limit break materials?
Oh my god, could you imagine?
I died.
No,
I
I
died.
was actually just
Alright,
thinking,
cool.
like, as we are discussing, like, about how limit break materials are really difficult to get and just you have to play treasure map. But what about the facility in PvP? Does
Knight,
that
do you
make a
have
big difference?
Knight? Do you have much on that? Do you know how much like, you get off that?
No,
It's like
I think
it's
you
not
just
that
have
much.
to like upgrade it, but it's not that much.
Like I think
It's
like
like
yeah, it's not a lot.
yeah, it's depends on what type you get. Like the
The
super
success
success
rate, yeah.
one, yeah.
If you get the super success, you get like tablets and shit, which is fantastic. But I think from the last step, we found out that like the max super success is 10%,
Yeah, which is bad.
which is terrible.
Jesus
know,
Christ.
And like it's just like if like there's so many like they could have done it so much better. Imagine if like that limit break thing actually dropped like quantities of like 10s or 20s, instead of like 3s and 4 amounts.
Mhm.
It's just not enough of like for you to invest that many tickets. Like we said, like 100,000 tickets is going to take you like 2.5 months of only upgrading that particular island or whatever the number is. So it's just not worthwhile to completely invest in that to get that many mats. It's just it's a
Screw that.
shame. Speaking on free stuff, though, I mean, we weren't even talking about free stuff, but fuck it, we're going to talk about it now. GARP challenges.
Okay,
So-
yeah, that's what I was going to talk about.
So GARP challenges have been overhauled on the global side. So this was evident in the JP side, where every month or so, GARP challenges refresh. So it was a new kind of challenge, and there were a bunch of troublemaker missions associated with that. And those troublemaker missions were like clear with a particular color, clear with a particular class, and then as you did that, you'd get gems and you'd get manuals and you'd get other kinds of rewards. So
Lots
it kind of like
lobsters.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
so
right?
this is what I wanted to touch on.
It kind of like added like an injection of gems as well. So I think on average, correct me if I'm wrong, I've heard that between like 30 to 40 gems a month from
Yeah.
completing all the GARP challenges, which is
Yeah.
like inherently that's fantastic. But it isn't. The GARP challenges aren't that easy overall, to fill within the parameters a lot of the time. But
So,
on
sorry,
that, though, yeah, no, go for it, Dylan. Hit it. You're keen. Go
So,
for it, man. Go for it.
the first 15 GARP challenges are easy as piss. So they're,
Oh,
they're, the
100%.
old, they're the old ones. They only, but still, like, if you're a new player, they can be quite difficult.
Yes,
Especially
yes.
with all the barriers and shit they put in there, which is a pain in the ass, by the way.
Yeah.
I used Kaido for every single one of them, and then a Kaido Sober for the 15th one,
Yeah.
because I need to get through some barriers. Every single fucking reward was lobsters.
Yeah, 100%.
If they replaced those with limit break mats, that would be so much better. That's all.
Yeah.
Like, if that was limit break mats, and the higher the difficulty increased, the more mats you got, blah blah blah, and you actually got limit break mats as rewards as well. That
Yeah.
would make the early ones much more worth doing it than getting 10,000 belly and a fucking bronze lobster.
Yeah.
No, I
Thank you
agree.
for that lobster that is literally useless.
I will never use it.
Exactly, and I haven't completed all the color stuff yet. I'm still working my way through the classes and shit.
Yeah.
But those rewards are good. Like, because you get the
Gems, you get
the
some
gems, you
manuals.
get the manuals and all that. So those are actually really
Yeah.
good. But yeah, the ones prior are dog shit. They did it. If they add limit break mats to that, that'll be so much better, and it'll make our lives so much easier when it comes to limit
100%.
breaking.
100%.
So yeah,
Some-
sorry,
some
I
of
had to
them-
get off my
Some of
chest.
those ones are worth doing though.
You're
Some of
kidding,
those
right?
first 15 are worth doing. No, because some of them give you like guaranteed soccer books, which
Yeah,
people
20.
might want. Like some of them give you forbidden tomes, which people might want. So like some of them are worthwhile, but it's not until you get
for
to
their
13,
difficulty,
14,
I need
15.
sockets.
For their difficulty, it's like it's fair, I guess, the
But you
rewards you kind of get.
You got to think though, like soccer books aren't hard to come by. There's a soccer island every freaking day.
No, that's glitched. Apparently, that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Supposedly
it doesn't-
Some people
yeah,
have it,
it's
some
not-
don't, which I find hilarious.
I haven't had it for months.
Yeah.
I've still had it every day.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
had it. I mean, my old account did it. My new account does. So it's very weird that like some people have it, some people just don't. It's a shit bug they have not sorted out for the
I
last
mean,
like,
I've got
6 months.
I've got 2,000 odd bloody, probably more now. Socket tome, just generic ones. So like,
Hmm.
I don't bother farming it.
No, of
Since
course
that
not.
glitch,
But-
since the glitch
Yeah,
came
same.
out where people said they couldn't get those islands, like I actually hadn't even touched the islands at all, and I
Neither
just
have
haven't
I.
touched them since, and they're just still sitting there.
Because it's just like, I mean, like for us as like our caliber of player, which have had so much invested time in the game, like we don't need that shit.
No,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? But
Yeah.
like to play devil's advocate, like Cobb said, you know, getting like those tomes and getting lobs and stuff is all like it's a bonus, right? For the level of difficulty, you can run a friend Kaido from stages 1 to 11 and literally auto it. That's what I
You can run
did.
a friend Kaido in the first Heavenly Demon one and clear it very
Exactly, you know. So like it's not like they like the fact that like they're not difficult, like okay, not that they're not difficult, but like not that difficult content means the rewards are justifiable. But I feel like the issue with the GARP challenge rewards, like I think the addition of limit break materials would be great, but I think it does circle back to like how many they give. I don't know why with Bandai, but they've been very
Stingy.
they're very greedy, stingy when it comes to how many mats they give out as rewards, you know? Like they give like 1 or 2 jewels. It's like it's just it's not enough when you
Jewels
really
aren't even the
break it
ones
down.
that people need. Like it's
Exactly.
the fragments is what.
But
People
even
need the
like,
most of.
even if you look at like the gem pack, right? Like that's 80 Australian $85 gem pack. It's like 60 shards, which isn't enough. Just starting
No.
off, 60
Well, I was
shard is
looking
not enough.
I was looking at the ranking for like top 100 in treasure map. It's 120
That's not enough still,
shards,
though.
and like it's 50 of not 50, 80, 82 of like the chunks,
The medium ones,
right?
yeah.
The medium ones, and then I think it's like 20 something or 30 something orbs.
But see, like, if you think about it, like to limit break plus a character, you need
like
more than
100 and something.
120 shards.
Yeah, so what they should do is like
It's
you should be able
400
to
of each color.
Yeah, it's 400. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like, it's
exactly.
fucked.
So with limit, so what they should basically do, and that's why they should expand it to quad 9,
Yeah.
is when you rank highly in treasure map. So if say top 100, you should have enough to limit break and limit break plus 2 legends.
Like one, you know, maybe top 500's one, and then if you go top 100, you get
2.
2 or so. Like just more. Like it. I think every single
That's why
debate
quad 9 would make sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Another thing that's really stupid as well is that Global still doesn't have a limited pool legend on 5 and 7 mil.
Oh yeah, we had it for one treasure map.
Yep.
But JP's had it since this TM, I believe. Correct
No,
me if
they've
I'm
had
wrong.
it for a while, I believe.
Yeah, it's been for a little bit. I think it was this TM.
Oh, no, I mean like from X Drake. Sorry, like on.
Yeah, that's what I
JP.
mean. For
Yeah,
X Strike, yeah.
that's what I meant.
That's what I
Sorry, yeah.
meant.
Since X Drake, because everyone was complaining, and I was like, oh, surely not. And I looked, I was like, God damn it! Like, come on, guys. Like, we being serious here?
Yeah.
Like, you follow JP like all the time, and then when it matters, they deviate and do something else. Like, why? Like, it just makes no sense. Give
I
us
said
the
it yesterday on my stream as well. Like Bandai gets so close to making it really good, but then
and
they
they
have
fuck it up. They
one
trip.
small
They
fuck
trip.
up. Yeah.
They're sprinting down the 100-meter hurdles, you know, they're going crazy, and they get to the last hurdles, they have their arms out like Usain Bolt, like he's about
And
to
they trip.
face plants, you know? Every single time
Bro,
Bandai does that.
They don't even trip on it, bro. They dolphin dive into it on purpose. It's not an accident. Like, don't trip. This isn't an accident. They're not accidentally
They do it
getting
on
this wrong.
purpose.
That is true.
Because then the thing is they can turn around and change the ticket later on to gain like goodwill. You know? Like it's
Yeah,
a
they're like,
ploy.
oh, you want this fixed? So don't worry, guys, we got you.
7 TMs
you
later.
didn't have
We
to
did
fix
it.
Look
You
how
never
good
had
we
to
are.
change it in the first place.
Speaking of, they still haven't brought back the 2 times thing in Kizuna.
True.
Because that was broken and it should
Oh,
never
yeah,
have been
yeah.
implemented in the first place.
Oh,
And
it was so nice though.
But you can
Yeah, like-
exploit the shit out of that though, and
Yeah,
it,
like-
it was good
yeah.
for us. But it's like it's shit for anyone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was terrible because the rewards didn't. It was just better to run single regardless because you'd
Oh
scale
yeah,
up.
but for people that
faster.
didn't have time, you could just run.
Yeah, you just run
single.
double, 100%.
And then if they screw up, people that can support that,
It's
they can
double the
support
reward.
you. Double
But
rewards.
bro, I never forget that first Kizno. Lay made 9 alt accounts.
Oh wow.
And then just literally just died on Kizuna every time, and would just clear them every single time, dude. Like,
See,
you know what I mean?
but how do you consistently do that? Like, I struggle to find anybody on my friends list.
I don't know, man. He that guy is a mysterious man when it comes to Gender Cruise, bro.
Because like, I'll get a message. Like, I'll be at work and then I'll be farming Kizuna, and Todd will come. He say, "Hey, I just fucked up. Can you save me?" And I look like, "Nah, you can't. Sorry, you're not on my
Look,
list."
I feel like they've changed like how the support thing works in Kizuna now. Like they've readjusted it somehow because like you were saying, I used to find like people on my friends list very consistently a lot of the time.
I've never
Now it just doesn't pop up. Sometimes it's just empty, and people in Discord will be like, "Oh, I just died." You'd refresh, nothing's there. You're like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it's Anthony, this game is shit. It's fucked. Everything's ruined.
True.
But like with Garp challenge, go back to Garp challenges though. Do you think like the way that they're doing it now, where it's like Chopper Man mission based on color and class? Do you think I should mix it up? Do you think I shouldn't have done that in the first place? Good, bad?
It.
What do you guys think?
It's cool, but it's a pain in the ass.
I love it just because it doesn't cost any stamina to run, and you get a lot of extra gems just for clearing it.
Yeah.
And whereas before, once you clear it once, and like they basically never reset them like previously. Like there was like one reset that they did, and that was even before they even put GARP 6 on global. So like it was kind of annoying because we never got GARP 6 reset.
I think this was the correct choice to how to reinvent like this kind of like piece of content.
Yeah,
was to have it monthly rotation and such. But like, I don't know, man. The Chopman missions, like for example, like a lot of the teams are very hard to build. Like when you go, like for example, like the Psy one, literally every single person that did Psy one ran double Stampede Luffy.
Yeah.
Like I found I had to make some weird ass hybrid team that was V2 Kiji and Stampede Luffy. It worked. It took me 4 hours, but it worked. But like, fuck that. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
And like, I guess that goes to say, A, am I lazy? Yeah, sure. Like that's fine. I'll cop blame for that.
You wear that badge.
Yeah, 100%. I'll look at Todd's video or like Flame's video or whatever. But I don't know. Like, I think maybe they should make it a little bit more like, maybe make it more specific would make it worse. I guess if they're like you have to run a striker fighter that has units that I mean maybe not actually. If you like one of my missions was like you have this has to be completed with strikers and fighters, or so you have to have both. I don't know. Like, how would you guys change up the Chopman missions if you had to? Would there be any other way you would approach them, or do you think the way they're doing it now is probably the best way they could?
I think they're fine now, personally.
Yeah,
it's
like
sometimes a bit harder just to do it like what they have like on not on this one but no, actually on Dofi 1. It is kind of annoying like to get 2 despair removers for this class because some have like a really crappy despair removal, like only 4 turns while like the bosses do like 5 or something.
Yeah.
So like for Int, for example, like you'll have an easier time with Rayleigh and like Ein, where like the other ones.
Like some of the best despair removal, are like some really niche characters, like Whitey Bay is one of them. Bloody Saikuma only supports Moria and Perona. So when Mihawk Perona comes out, that'll be amazing.
Yeah, that when.
Yeah.
You know,
but until then, like I chucked Moria on a slasher team because he gets rid of 5 turns of despair.
It's
like
I mean, kudos to all the guys that are making like those huge ass like. I mean, like obviously the Dex Striker powerhouse team was
easy.
I think it is kind of cool though because it kind of makes people think and like it makes people try and strategize and maybe you'll start using units that you haven't really used previously.
I agree 100%. I think it's really cool that we're seeing some really like interesting like unique teams as well.
Like in my quick variation, I use that like kimono Akainu, the one where he's cutting the bonsai tree. Like I've rarely ever used that unit, but he was actually really good for that event.
There you have it. Got challenges.
Get them done. Lots of gems.
Get them done. Lots of gems. Make sure you're farming up those gems.
I've only got a handful left to do, but
yeah, I think so too. I think I only have
Treasure Map's too busy right now.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, I don't play Treasure Map no more.
I'm reluctant to have you on my team for Kizuna now if you're going to have this sort of attitude.
Fuck that. Nah, man, when it comes to the team Kizuna, though, good segue. Do appreciate that one, Chief. My thing keeps cutting out, so you're probably going to hear me like just zoom in and out of this call, by the way, people that are listening. So that's fine. Regardless, though, Team Kizuna, we have a new one, Bolo and Luffy. That probably shocked everyone. I don't think I didn't expect
I thought it was a
Luffy
legend.
at all. Yeah, when we saw that art, I was
Very
like,
nice
I
artwork.
bet. Oh, it was fucking very clean artwork. Unit's pretty decent as well. Int captain, I
they're
believe. So
Pretty nice.
not
yeah.
too bad. So make sure you farm up that, get yourself a team. Knight did make a video on how to join or create a team, so make sure you check that one out as well in case you don't have a team yet. But I wanted to talk about this because this obviously will lead into the kind of conversation of like alliances and clans and stuff in game, which I think we've been punching the air about for the last 4.5 years or so. But I want to like get your opinions on the team Kuzunas first. Obviously, we haven't done Global hasn't had theirs yet, but Moria is approaching quite soon.
Should be in like a
And
month
we
and a half,
and because we know
I'm saving
like
potions.
100%. Like, and since like we know based upon watching JP play through and obviously Knight's done it himself, what are just initial opinions when you heard the idea of like Team Kizuna? What were your initial thoughts on it?
They could fuck it up.
I was
That was
excited.
my first thought.
Yeah, I was excited too. I think it's about time we got, you know, content where we have to team up with other players.
Yeah, like it's an exciting thought, but my first thought was like, oh god, I really hope they don't fuck this up.
I have a question
because
for Knight for this one. So
Alright.
how do they rank the teams against each other? Is it based on the amount of clears of the boss?
It's like clears and points. So like since the characters are point boosters, it's like how many points you get based off of amount of clears that you've done, and also how many people you've assisted and stuff like that. And then there's like the
Okay.
accumulation of like team points and stuff like that.
There's like two different like, and I think it counted your clears as well for like that and how many supports you did. But like, because like I think the general strategy was just like to try to always help your team member like, inherently, but like to try to always help your team member because then they would get points for the clear and then you'd get points for the assist as well. So it would kind of stack on top of one another. But I think that's a pretty fair. I mean, point boosters suck. I know, like I mean, like that's just the way that this game is deciding to approach play, and it sucks. But what can you do? But I think like for the most part, the way that it's ranked is quite fair in terms of clears and stuff. But I think like for me, when I saw team, I think like I was in the boat with a lot of people. I was like, holy shit, we're getting clans, we're getting alliances, like something big's like happening. It's not going to just be for this one time. We're actually going to have to form like crews and shit. Like it's going to go off. But then we were sadly turned away from that idea. But overall, I thought it was a pretty exciting.
It opened the doors to that in the future. You know, it was pretty exciting. There's a lot of potential there, and I'm excited because even in Dan Memo, that's like my favorite thing about the game, that you can.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was
you know those like guild systems that you can have competitive events with other groups, and you play with your friends. If you just kind of like join like a random one, it's probably not as fun. But if you join them with people you already know, like from Discord or whatever, that motivates you to play more, and it makes it more fun.
100%. I agree. 100%. I think it's just exciting, like because you get to work with people, and I mean, like you said, like the whole like surrounding part of like Discord and stuff will make it a lot more interesting because you'll actually be with people that you're communicating with on like a daily basis and such. So it'll be more interesting in that sense. But like like you said though, it has opened up for them to pretty much do another Team Kizuna. Do you guys think that this is the right way to go forward with Kizuna? Like, should they do this like way more often? Should they do this every single time?
I'd like to see this more often, not every single time, because obviously it can be not everybody can obviously find the time, and it could turn into like a massive drag whenever one came about. But if it's every like 3 Kizunas, that would give people time to like more or less mentally prepare for it.
Yeah, I agree with do not do this too often, because like Kizuna in and of itself is not a game mode that is a ranking game mode, and with this event they make it that, and there's already a lot of other ranking events with blitz battles and treasure map. Like it just adds another layer on top of it that we just don't need. So I think that if they do it like every 3 months, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I think
like 4 times per year.
The way that this is ranked though is fine in my opinion. Like, probably correct me if I'm wrong, Knight, but it's like S, A, B, C. You know what I mean? And if you're in the S tier, then like
it's like the top 10%.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's like the maximum cap that you like if you want to get the best rewards. Obviously, that's like the highest you want to get into. It's not like I need to rank 1. It's like if I get into that top 10%, which hopefully on global isn't too hard, and I'd assume that a lot of the whale teams are just going to go crazy. But I guess they might even change that cap overall. They might make it smaller for global. Might be like top 5% instead. Like I don't know. It would be interesting to see how they adapt the whole system around playing with global. Maybe the teams will be smaller, larger. Like it'd be weird to see. Do you think 10?
I reckon.
Do you think 10's too many? Do you think 10's enough? Too little?
I think 10 is like the right amount.
Yeah, but I could easily see them going to 20 for global just because
20
global.
would be way too much.
Yeah, I agree, but I could see them doing it.
I could see them. I think I could see them going a little bit more than 10, but like I would really hope that it would just stay it.
Or if they wanted to make it more competitive for global, they have less people so that there's more teams.
That's true.
Yeah,
they could
like
do that.
5 people per team.
Man, but if it was more,
we're sorted then.
You'd be getting mad at a lot of people for not doing the runs.
Yeah.
Oh, 20 people. Yeah, 20 people would be too many people to. I mean, like, what was it in Dun? How many was our clan in Dun Memo, Joba?
It was 30 people. You got.
I hated it.
Yeah,
every day you had to check in the Discord and you had to see who logged on, who didn't, who ran, who did what, and it was a full-time job.
You just have to start like interviewing people. So, how much do you plan on farming?
I did. When I was running that clan in Dun Memo, I was getting applications from people that wanted to join us, and I had to. We sat and we used to compare them and like who's the best and who's the farm. It was.
But those people that joined that we didn't know from before, I mean, they were good. They were good players, but a lot of the people 100%. That were there that we started with, they were like people from Dynasty, and a lot of them, after a while, they kind of stopped caring about the game, so it was hard to get them to do their shit.
But like, nah, if any more than 10, God forbid, no way, dude. I'm not gonna be able to deal with that kind of stuff.
No, I just hope that because I know for a fact everybody has can be lazy with that kind of stuff, and
I mean, it's easy to be lazy with, though. You know what I mean?
You know me. I'm very much balls to the wall. At the start of every Kizuna, I probably get to around level 30, maybe 40, in the first day. And same do with treasure map. I farm the fuck out of it as much as I can.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the people we end up making a team with do the same.
Yeah. So it's just I think Kizuna is one of those game modes where it's you have the whole 5 days. And you don't have to farm it until the last day.
But then but when they add a competitive aspect to it,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just if you could still approach it in the sense of in one day you could do 100 levels, 100 Kizuna levels if you really wanted to, and that would inject the same amount of points as someone who did 100 over 5 days.
Yeah, but then you also got to think you might not have played to the last day, so you haven't assisted anyone, so that doesn't add to that score.
That's true. I agree with that. I think them adding points for the support was a really good idea to have people play.
I think they also reduced the amount of time that assists would appear. It's every
15
5
minutes,
or 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, because we had it recently, the 15-minute one, and that shit was just consistently popping in and out, in and out. It was crazy. So I think them adding points to the fact that you can assist people was a really good move on their half to have people consistently playing the game as it is.
Yeah, 100%.
On other team stuff though, I don't know if this is really considered the team stuff, but you guys recall the Admiral Blitz battle where you were either put in the Aokiji side or the Akainu side based on your ID and stuff, or even the Luffy versus Kata, where I think you got to either pick a side or you were put in.
Yeah, that one was random.
What do you guys think about that kind of stuff later on down the line in terms of big content, big event stuff where it's the server versus the server of it, not world class style, but half of global split.
It's really fucky.
It's really difficult because if you put on a side and then it loses, you just miss out on the reward, even if you're a hardcore player.
Yeah,
I got put on
happened to me.
I got put on the losing side for that Luffy Carter event. As soon as I saw that I wasn't on the same side as Dylan Todd, I was like, well, GG, my rewards.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
Corazon was on the other side for me.
You have Corazon on your side, it's game over, bro. Him snapping on the same team.
It was him. It was him and TSF. I was like, come on.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, as instant L, but they planned up for 400 people minimum.
There's a lot of toxicity.
I went crazy on that one.
Well, sorry, Joba.
A lot of toxicity on Discord too, with people on different sides.
People start flaming out. I mean, it's fun because it's amongst friends, and you just do that shit. It's funny and stuff. But
People changing their names.
Yeah, 100%. That was the
Yeah.
team label, the
Team
Luffy,
Luffy.
Team Cutter.
Yeah.
The whole Discord's now just full of people with just
Yeah.
with their name changes and stuff. But do you think that they could do this in the future again, and actually implement it properly? Do you think how would they approach making it more fair? Like obviously you can't just say both sides get rewards. Obviously the winning side has to get rewards. But what do you guys think? Do you think? I don't know. It's a hard decision, this one, in terms
It is
of
very hard. I don't think you can do it fairly because if everyone chooses one side, that side automatically wins, and then it's not really like a competitive event at that point.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can't make it fair.
See, that's why I like the fact that I reckon they'll try to figure out something similar to that for Kizuna, and they said, how about we just make it like clans so they can choose their own team?
Yeah, I think they probably thought about it like that, actually, to be honest.
There's downsides to every kind of system. With the clans thing, I mean, there could be like a whale clan that gets together and then they recruit all the other whales, and then they try to steal other members from other shit. You can think of any kinds of things, but
yeah, but then they balance that out by making it only the top 10% of alliances get all the high rewards.
So yeah, even if all the whales make one team, they might come first. But for example, in our group right now, I reckon we'd be pretty up there if it was just us 5.
100% would be top 10% easily.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So we'll still be in the top 10%. We'll still be getting really, really good rewards because we know that we are good at
playing, team building,
grinding,
we have everything we need within our group.
Yeah, and we know how to grind without burning ourselves out. We know to distract yourself from the game, and as soon as you get into a rhythm in the game, it's easy.
I think do you guys think that this game, we always talk about it and such, in terms of alliances and clans and crew. Do you think this game really needs a system like that, or do you think?
I think it's cool. I really like that. I really like it.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I would like it. I think it would be revitalizing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just hit you with a huge question then. If you were to implement it, how would you implement it then?
I like how Dynamo has it.
I like it how I reckon that they should make it a lot like how like One Piece. You have a crew that maxes out at 10 people, right?
Yeah.
But when events come out, you have a choice to set an alliance with another crew, and during this thing you might be able to, for example, you have someone who usually ranks lower than you align themselves with you so they can get a little bit better rewards, but they can also have the chance to stab you in the back and try and do something to screw you over. But in the sense, if you see it coming, you can do. You know what I mean? If they make it elaborate like that, there's certain actions you can take to defend yourself. So you can have one person from the crew is working on farming defensive runs, whereas the rest of the crew is on the offense.
Mm-hmm. You could definitely implement it like that.
You have alliances with other groups. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be a cool way to do it. You can come up with all kinds of things, honestly.
I think it's just hard because I think what was one of the best ways that I've seen clan kind of stuff done is done memo, and then it's also again 7DS, man. That game still just keeps doing things really well. They have it so it's 30 people in a group. There's a chat in game. If everyone logs in and checks in, you get a diamond or a reward, and then you get a chest to sell for gold, and there's a clan boss that you can defeat, and then where you rank in that gets your rewards every I think it's every week or so. It just resets. Having intricacies like that where it's not necessarily based upon big events and stuff, but it's having small things where you can have your group do particular events or go clear particular islands and such.
Yeah,
would just be a good stepping stone into getting towards, looking at doing what Dill mentioned, forming alliances and having big battles and that kind of thing. I think that's probably the best way to approach it. I don't know if the game needs it though at this point.
I think it'd be really cool. I wouldn't say it needs it, but I think it'd be a cool addition.
It'd be what did Joba say? It'd be revitalizing, I believe. It'd just be it'd be a refresh to the game system, I think, overall.
Yeah, and you could even make it a non-mandatory thing. It's something you have to submit to go into. You have to make your clan, you have to submit your crew to be in it. You know what I mean? It's not forced upon you. Like-
you could even just make it like an alliance where it's not even a competitive thing. Like you can just like team up with a bunch of friends, and then when you have your team, you just have like a bunch of weekly Chopper Man missions, and if you're able to fulfill those missions, you get like a really
rewards.
cool reward or something.
You can use your berry to upgrade facilities in the clan. That's
yes!
it.
Holy shit!
We finally found a use for the berries, dude. It's time. We're gonna upgrade everything day one, bro. We got all the berries. Tom's got like 3 billion. I don't know. We're going crazy.
Yeah,
now.
I nearly got 4 billion.
I think Rye the other day hit like
1 billion
10
on
bill.
this account.
10
Dude,
bill, jeez.
It's off the screen now. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like,
Yeah,
my God.
on my old account, I think I'd had like 2 bill, and now on this account, it's like, oh yeah, you have like, I think I'm like at 200 million or some shit like that. So a lot, big drop. But
I'm just gonna farm Berry Cave. I'm gonna gem farm.
Yeah, I would do
Berry
that.
Cave.
Nice.
Yeah,
Farm
I would
turtles.
gem farm Berry Cave with the fucking koi ship and Komurosaki.
I'm just gonna macro it. Fuck it. I'm just gonna farm it as quickly as possible and just see if I can like break the overflow limit of the berry count and just destroy the game.
Just destroy the game. My God.
All right. Anything else on any of those topics? We just want to jump into some viewer questions.
Yeah, well, we don't know what the next legend is on Japan yet.
We don't know
so
anything actually. It's very refreshing
No.
for once.
We have no idea what's coming.
We don't know
so-
what the fuck's going on. So
we
like,
do know that on Global's about to get Marco and Ace Kizuna, which is cool.
that is true, which would be quite exciting. It'd be their fantastic unit, and I think they're maxed out in like 4 Kizunas.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like 4.
Which is great. Like it's very quick. I would assume that for the first one, they'll probably bring back Zoro and Luffy, Limit Break Mats, or at some point
think
they
so.
will.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm looking forward to it. Marco and Ace are really good.
it'll be interesting. But yeah, Japan releases consistently, like every
Oh,
month.
V2 Rayleigh 6+.
Oh yeah, true. V2 Rally 6+. What do you guys think?
I hope he's good.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. But the
If they,
sad
get,
thing
if they get rid of his health
They
like
won't.
tech,
they
then
won't.
it'd be
I don't
amazing.
He
Man.
just got a Limit Break Plus as well.
Yeah, I think like his sad thing is he's going to be worse than V1 still. V1 Rayleigh is amazing. Like holy
Yeah.
shit,
Shout out to that guy.
honestly.
Joba, come on. We've
Nah,
talked about this.
we can have one per ep. Shout out to
That was
Rayleigh.
my first one.
He's already said it once, hasn't he?
do
No,
think,
I didn't. That was my first one.
They could make V2 Rayleigh like a literal god tier sub though.
They
Like,
should.
it's
They,
special.
they definitely could.
Yeah,
He was
he's already
unreleased.
he already is really good still, but there's a lot of other units just kind of are just a little bit better. But if they upgrade his chain and his orb boost, he could be.
What is
good
it
option.
now? What is his chain and orb boost now?
1.75, and it's a 3x, I believe.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
For a chain
Good.
lock, yeah.
What do you guys
So-
think? 2.25 and 3x?
Or I was
Like
thinking
3.5?
I was thinking 3.25 and 2x.
Yeah, they
That's
could
a
work.
decent increase. It's not much, but it's decent.
What would
But I
you
do
want
think
more? Would you
I
want
do think
I
as
don't
well
know.
that his special has like the other effect when you're below HP. So if they maybe
Yeah.
remove that, that would be great because he gives it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
So
so.
that's the main thing. Is his health restriction on his captain and his special are the main downsides to the unit.
Yeah, I never liked Vici Rayleigh for that exact reason.
He was probably my favorite legend on release, to be honest.
I remember you pulled him in Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, that shit was lit. That was lit.
Yeah.
I have
the
seen
three-
a video of that.
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, 3.5, under a certain amount of HP. Just, even fucking Chopper has 3.5 unconditional now. Plus dupes
Yeah.
CCs. So
Damn, true.
Well, with his Limit Break Plus, he goes to nearly a 4 times under 30.
I hate that shit. So just why 3.9875? Just 4.
Yeah.
Just make it 4. Like, what do you lose? Like making like it's such a minimal
gotta be the guy.
increase.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's-
3.9875. Let's do more maths. That ain't it, Chief. I'm gonna kick it to you.
imagine you're
It's
over
gonna be
short of killing
4x.
something.
By like 0.1125. And
It
you're
could
like,
make
God
him
damn.
similar to 6+ Whitebeard, like in terms of the captain. Like maybe start off at 3.5 and scale down to like 4.5 maybe or something.
That'd be
like that.
fine. Like a 4.5 at low HP would be insane, though. That'd be hell. Like that, I mean, heck, we all thought that Quick Beard was doo doo, and because like he didn't produce enough damage. But like and then eventually we got that ace, and then everything changed, bro. That
I
Quick
always
Beard
thought it
was
was great.
Yeah, because but see, like the thing is, like we always have hits and misses, man.
Did.
I thought Nami Robin was gonna be a fantastic legend, and then it turns out they're the most overrated batch in the game. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Who knows? Man?
I don't even really want to pull for pudding that much because I don't see them get used that much. Apparently,
Yeah, I'm only gonna do a handful.
It's a skip. It's like for people that like it's literally Shanks Crew's right there. French Annie is right there.
It does help that
guaranteed after 20.
I don't remember at all what Shanks Crew or Arlong Crew do, so I'm just gonna wait for the 6
Mike,
legends.
you want to update us since you just got them?
Oh yeah, I did.
They are so busted. Their captain effect is crazy.
Shanks Crew's fucked. Shanks Crew is so fucked.
I'm very excited about Shanks.
Like every time I read him, like I kind of forget
How
from the
good he is.
previous read how good he was. He just does like way too much shit.
He is. How the fuck did they release that? Like, and
He should have been the anniversary legend.
Bro, they literally released that, and they're like, "Yeah, there's still 6 Annie units coming." Everyone's like, "Excuse me, what do you mean? There's still? I thought this was 6 Annie." Nah, bro, we're chilling. What? Shanks
Okay.
Crew is so fucking good.
Let's just go through
honestly,
everything that they do.
I honestly,
Alright.
I love Shanks Crew. Like, and then they released 6 Annie, which because Shanks Crew just came out, I'm like, yeah, they're good, but they're not as high.
But like Shanks Crew's right there,
Yeah.
though. You know,
and,
yeah,
then
I agree.
and then after that, they released fucking Kid. Are you kidding
Bro,
me? Like,
yeah.
6 Annie, who
Crazy.
cares? Give me Kid.
That's it. We're skipping 6 Annie boys.
Yeah,
I'm pulling Shanks Crew time, baby. And it's
Shanks
like,
Crew, Rainbow 4.5 captain, Rainbow 1.2 health, Quick and Psi are beneficial to everyone, reduce special bind by 10 turns as a captain,
Jeez.
reduce damage by 20%, and if you hit 6 perfects, they deal 1,000 times their attack as
2
AoE.
million, 2 million AoE.
Yeah.
AoE. People
Yeah.
always forget the fact that that shit is AoE, dude. You know how insane that is? That is so much damage output. Like just like even look, 4.5 base, 1.2 HP. People sleep on the fact that of the HP boost in the captain.
1.2 HP and 20% DR. Like this unit's tanky.
See, let's bring this all the way back to Katakuri, right? Everyone thought Katakuri was like literally like it was incredible, very underrated 6 Annie legend. But when you go back and read his captain ability, the fact that he only gets the damage reduction under 50% just changes everything for him.
Makes me cry every time.
It makes him so much, unfortunately, so much worse than like what he proposed to be, you know? But like, look at this guy. He's a fuck it, 20% all time, baby. 1.2 HP, baby. Some beneficial orbs, special mind can get the fuck out of here, and some AoE damage. Call it a day, son. Like he is so good,
and he is a cerebral character through all forms, which is really good too.
It's fantastic, yeah.
And a great switch, a great special. Like, bruh. The only problem that I have with Shanks Crew is that he doesn't have many good supports from memory.
And see, like that's where like the first topic comes in. Like they have to really think about supports going forward now.
Yeah. Because like he's a slasher cerebral, shooter cerebral, slasher cerebral. So I guess you could put like Raid Zora support on this guy. That could work. Still. I don't know. Like there aren't.
If your list of cons is starting with doesn't have many good supports, I'm pretty sure you're fine.
Like that's the only bad thing about this character that I can think of, honestly.
Just slap a generic 7% base stat.
But even still, you can he's a rainbow captain, run whatever you want with supports on whatever you want as a sub.
Exactly.
You're good.
Bro, I guess that's what makes every Luffy unit pretty much always going to be the number one legend in the game.
Yeah, true.
Because it has so much external support.
And Trafalgar lore as well.
Yeah, actually, for sure though. Law's support base is fantastic. Just that Corazon alone, it's all you need.
Corazon and like Sengoku.
That Beppo though as well.
That
blue Beppo is slept on.
That blue Beppo is huge.
Call. Really good call.
All right, well, I think that's our passionate Shanks Crew.
Man,
just jacking off Shanks Crew for the past like 5 minutes. This unit's too good, bro.
Man, Beppo's just fucking furry.
Excuse me?
Coming from you!
Excuse me? What did you say, you bitch? This guy, he's on some content. Subscribe if you're a furry. Leave a like.
We don't discriminate here.
We don't discriminate here, that's for sure.
I do. I don't.
Let's get to some.
What?
viewer
How do
questions.
you discriminate?
I'm not a furry. I just like carrot a lot. Okay.
You are a furry. You've admitted it plenty of
In
times.
denial.
I never have. She transcends all those
That's
all those
cap. That's
stereotypes.
cap. That's cap. I reckon I can find some shit right now.
Find me one instance and I'll
All right,
admit
after the podcast, I'm gonna do it.
it. All right.
All right.
Let's
Let's
just
get to these
scrolling through all the
questions.
discords like fuck.
Yeah, he's deleting all of his messages. Let's get into some viewer questions though. That's for true.
Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna go down the list because we have a crap ton of questions, and let's just get to it. So, 2 people asked pretty soon questions here. So, at Very Grim Mood, these are all on Twitter. You can ask the questions on Twitter at GGP Podcast. You can also send questions to our Instagram at GGP Podcast as well, and we will hopefully do our best to answer as many of them as possible throughout the duration of the podcast. So, the first question comes from at Very Grim Mood and at Ahmed Naib 6. They both asked, now that PvP has released, what do you guys think the next big thing will be and how will it contribute moving forward? So I think it kind of looks at the idea of like what do you guys think the next big game mode will be though? Because PvP obviously being the next, I think like every year or so they've released a big game mode.
Yeah, but I think like what else could we really theorize after what we've talked about in the podcast? You know what I mean?
I have an idea.
Okay, go on.
I think that it would be cool if we had, you know how like when you do treasure map and you have the ability to let the game play for you automatically.
Oh yeah.
So they should do some sort of feature like that where you can send certain characters on missions and then they'll come back after a few hours and give you some rewards or something.
They're like heroes.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Ball Legends.
Done memo.
Like in Dead Memo,
Yeah.
dude. Dead Memo.
Like, a lot of games have it.
They do it all first.
Yeah, so like maybe there's certain missions for certain classes or colors, and if depending on the rarity of the unit that you send, you get like a higher chance of getting good rewards or something. I don't know.
I remember did it really well because it was kind of like there was like a percentage, and like you could auto fill it, and if it hit 100%, you're going to come back with best rewards, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
there was also one of the quests that was like I think it was like not story based, but it was kind of like that where like you had to send particular units.
Like it would give you
then-
hints, and then you would have to add those units in. Like, oh, these characters were,
They're from this part of the story.
Yeah,
that's this, and this.
yeah, like they'll give you a hint. Like, I think elves would be really strong in this, and then you'd pick like 4 elf characters.
And then you'd come back and they'd get the rewards, and then it'd progress in the story. So the further you went on, the better rewards you got from completing that little that expedition series.
And we had like cheat sheets and all, but so you wouldn't really have to think about
I think
it.
it's a fantastic idea. I think that the expedition thing would be really good just for passive, like, while you're asleep, you just send out a bunch of 6 to 8 hour, 12-hour ones, and then you wake up and you just collect all the rewards, and it'd be pretty simple.
And maybe there's a really low chance to get like rare recruit pools or gems or something out of it.
Yeah, like some kind of tablets, limit break mats, just a lot of resources that you can just potentially get from that. No, I agree. I think that could definitely. I mean, heck, that should be what happens going forward. That's for sure.
Yeah.
At Jesse Robert asks, "What's your favorite and not so favorite One Piece arcs?" So we'll start with that one there. What is your favorite One Piece arc, and what's your least favorite One Piece arc?
All right, go down the list. Let's go.
Sabaody.
Favorite?
Is that your favorite? Or?
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
And then your least favorite?
They're all good. Don't make me choose.
All right.
I've actually never thought of what's my least favorite.
Let's not include.
Oh,
Foxy.
yeah.
I think everyone can that.
Long Ring, Long Land, whatever the fuck.
You can't use it.
Let's not use that one.
The ones that people always say are kind of meh are Thriller Bark and what was the one? Punk Hazard. But I really like those two. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
I dislike Punk Hazard.
I dislike Punk Hazard as well.
My favorite is probably Water 7. I don't know. I just think like that one.
I think Water 7 is an incredible arc.
The reason Thriller Bark isn't my least favorite is just because there's that one moment where the whole Straw Hat crew actually works together.
The second half of Thriller Bark is fantastic.
Yeah, but the first half is absolute just.
I hate Punk Hazard. It was when I was first watching the anime, it was so hard to get through. I stopped 4 times.
Let me defend them.
Get through it.
I love that they fight or they get together with the Navy with Smoker and Tashigi, and they fight through all that shit with them. There's really awesome moments like Aokiji
but it's
showing
so
up.
slow to get to it.
Showing up and stopping.
Virgo is really sick too. There's a lot of good moments.
What was it? If you remember Frankie fighting Baby 5? That was awesome. There was
Baby 5 in Buffalo.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Aokiji showing up to stop Dofi, that was really badass.
But, like,
And in
slow.
It has good moments, but the arc as a whole is like pretty average. In my
Below
opinion.
average.
Yeah, for my favorite arcs, it's gonna be between Enies Lobby and the Marineford War.
no, fair
Yeah.
enough.
I personally think the Marineford war was like similar in a sense to Thriller Bark, not Thriller Bark. No, like Punk Hazard for me in a sense of
No,
like it had fantastic moments. Like when it hit,
Yeah.
but it just felt long. Like it felt unnecessarily drawn out, in my
I can
opinion.
see that. Like there was a point in Thriller Bark, you know, after they go through all the shit, they defeat
has
Moria, they
something
defeat
called a
Ors,
thing that
and then
drags.
fucking Kuma shows up. Man, that was insane.
See, now that's what saves Thriller Bark the most.
Yeah, there was that bro moment between Zoro and Sanji trying to sacrifice
The fact that,
themselves. You know,
Zoro fights Kuma is just fucking sick. Like,
And then
Yeah.
we got the introduction, like we got Brooks' like backstory and
Yeah.
revealing
Oh,
that he
man.
was in that group of pirates that met Laboon.
that's the
Oh,
saddest
yeah.
backstory of any Straw
Yeah.
Hat. Like, that's another
Right.
good viewer question. Like, you know, which Straw Hat has the saddest backstory? I've seen that pass around
oh,
before.
well,
And Brooks is,
hey, they have to give us questions.
Yeah, it's not a viewer question anymore, really.
I think Brooks by far is the
Brooks is
saddest.
kind of fucked.
You know, he spent 50
I'd
years
say
alone.
Sanji's and Zoro's are fucking up there though.
Yeah, when you find out
Sanji's is pretty
when you
hard, yeah.
find out Sanji's like, yeah, I bet this guy's fucked up.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
like Zoro losing his best friend to a flight of stairs. I mean,
That's just Sashigi.
Nico Robin survived a genocide.
yeah.
Nico Robbins.
She did survive a genocide. That
Frankie got hit by a train.
Usopp's mom
Hey.
died. That's about it.
Usopp's mom died.
His brother
He-
died.
Then he couldn't pipe. He couldn't
mom
pipe the girl
died.
in the village, bro. Damn.
Yeah,
shame.
so they're all pretty fucked, to be honest.
Correct.
Luffy probably doesn't even have a
the
mom.
person who has the least depressing backstory is Usopp.
Yeah, I know.
And
That's
even-
kind of
His mum died.
Oh fuck
yeah,
yeah, I
that's
forgot
sad,
about
but you know.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Never mind. It's pretty shit. Hold on.
Nami's
And you-
quote unquote mother got killed and she was forced to work under Arlong.
that. She was a child
Yeah.
slave, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, true.
And who knows what she had to do?
Luffy's back.
Luffy's is the least. Yeah,
Luffy,
it's
like,
really
Luffy, okay, Luffy had to live in the fucking forest, and he thought he lost one of his brothers.
Yeah, but like I feel like in comparison, losing your mom. Oh fuck
Yeah.
it! I don't get my
I
mom. My
don't
mom
know, like,
number one.
And you know,
it depends.
Carrot,
It does depend.
100%.
there's also Carrot who lost Pedro. You know.
Oh,
Hey,
fuck.
hey,
All
hey.
right.
What about Jinbei?
All right, I'm sorry.
Jinbei though.
Who the fuck
Well,
is that?
true. What do you mean? Who the fuck is Jinbei?
Who's that guy? Oh wait, we're getting in spoiler territory.
No,
No,
he's
they-
part of the crew since.
Literally, whole cake.
Yeah, since
Yeah,
Whole
Since
Cake,
the
yeah.
best arc, Whole Cake
Whatever.
Island.
He's not even in all the promotional artworks yet. With that show, all the Straw Hats.
He is now. Just saying.
Hang on. Knight, what's your favorite and least favorite arc?
I don't know. Maybe Impel Down. I really liked Impel Down.
That's
Ooh,
actually
nice.
that's slept on. Impel Down slept on, dude.
That's
Low-key.
another one. That's
Yeah,
gonna be a
Magellan
drag
was
bit.
also really great.
The Magellan fight's fucking sick because Luffy just gets fucking dicked. Magellan's like,
Yeah.
I am stronger than you. Just don't even try, bro. It's fine.
Luffy's
And
just
that
like, I'll eat
stare
your
down-
poison.
Then that stare down between Luffy and Blackbeard too.
True. And seeing Crocodile again.
Yo,
You mean Luffy's mum?
Oh my god.
okay. we
All
really,
right.
we're really going. We're really doing it.
Man.
I guess you can say it then. Ace is still alive, guys. You heard
Ugh.
it here
Oh
first.
no.
He ain't dead. Corazon's
least
alive,
favorite?
dude.
Oh shit.
No, Luffy's mom is Panda Man.
What? There's a
Yeah,
panda woman. There's a
watching
panda woman.
watching over him throughout the entire series in the background, and we thought it was just a meme.
Watch
But
Panda Man rock up at Raftel and be like, "What's up?" I
Maybe-
got all the poneglyphs. I'm here.
I'm actually the
maybe-
final boss.
Maybe that's what's so funny. I think that's a spoiler.
This guy. Nah, that doesn't matter. What about Cobb? You said least favorite. What's your most favorite?
I don't know. I think it's not very popular to like the new stuff. more than the old stuff, but I really liked Whole Cake Island, to be honest.
Whole Cake Island
I do
added a
Whole Cake
lot
Island
though. Like it added a lot of good, like just a lot
Whole
of
Cake
it.
Island's been the best arc since Time Skip.
100%. I agree with that.
I reckon Wano's giving it a run for its money.
Oh,
I
obviously.
agree.
One
Wano will be the best after it's done.
Yeah, I agree, but you can't judge it yet because it's not done.
You guys ever think, in Whole Cake Island we met all of the Big One pirates, and they're, even though they're the villains, they're really likable. Like you like all of their people,
I agree.
and I really like the One Piece does that. Their characters are so good.
But then you gotta think about they always make you like the villain to some extent. Like, do you remember fucking
Except Spandam, fuck that
Senor
guy.
Pink?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
Senor
His backstory, fucking
Yeah, you're talking
hell.
about backstories. That guy probably has the
Bruh.
saddest back. That's the most well-written
Then you'll
backstory.
Straw Hat
Dude.
win.
God forbid, bro. God forbid.
I know my favorite's probably Annie's Lobby, and my least favorite's probably Punk Hazard.
Damn, Punk Hazard.
Very
Well,
similar to
okay.
me.
I'll call Punk Hazard least favorite just because we get all those idiots that are like,
You don't, you don't
when-
have to call it least favorite. It's fine. We're allowed to have
No,
different
I
opinions.
was saying, all those idiots are like Monet or Caesar are going to be Straw Hats.
Yeah,
fuck
Caesar
those
Clan
guys.
sucked, dude.
Caesar's literally one of
hate
the worst
Caesar.
actors I've ever seen in my whole life. I hate
Yeah.
that laugh. I swear, I used to just skip through.
No, dude, this laugh is goated, man. He's better than Hody as a villain. He's better than Hody. Hody is horrible.
No, the goated laughs in One Piece are Whitebeard, Blackbeard, I'm trying to think.
Caesar. Now you have to respect him, but it pissed me off though.
Yeah,
Every
Hody
time I
was
heard
shit.
that
He had to take steroids in order to keep up with Luffy, and he still didn't win.
Bro, Hody, like that whole. You know what? Fisherman Island sucked dick. Fisherman Island.
Fisherman Island's in a very important arc, though. It's important.
It
but
was. I swear, like
yeah.
the only good part for me was when Luffy just uses the Congress Haki, and then like, and I just remember
Calling
reading
his monster form.
and then I just remember like reading a snippet of like Oda saying, "Yeah, Shanks could have easily killed all 100k in one hit easily," and I was like, "Whoa." I was like, yeah, that means that Luffy's half the strength of Shanks, guys. Not even fucking. I was like a dumb kid. I was like, yeah, we figured it out.
Yeah, one of my favorite Luffy moments is from there. He's calling Shirahoshi the wrong name the entire arc, and then when he's fighting Hody and defending her, he calls her by the right name, and you're like, oh shit.
Luffy
he's
does
really
that a
good
lot,
now.
though, man.
Yeah.
Luffy,
He's serious now.
He's not serious, bro. He's still fucking about. He doesn't care what he's doing. He's
Yeah,
gonna be
he's a
the
little
pirate
bitch.
king,
I
though.
want to see like the end, like when it comes to like the obvious big clash that's gonna come up in Wano. Luffy's been fucking bulking hard.
That dude is beefed up.
Yeah,
bro.
so
That
I want to
dude's
see
beefed.
how his physical body changes are affecting his gears.
100%. That'd be interesting. That'd be quite exciting.
Hell yeah.
So
Wano's
then,
gonna
on
be
that
sick.
question too, if you can add one member to the Straw Hat crew, who would it be?
Easy.
I mean, I hate to agree with Joba, but I think Carrot.
Don't do it. No.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
very,
only
very good
logical choice.
Like, character.
Dude, she would balance out the crew so well. Like, she'd be the perfect.
Like,
like-
I definitely think there needs to be a new female on the crew. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
I want the alliance with the Heart Pirates to be an indefinite thing.
yeah, I agree. I like them.
I think Vivi for Straw Hat would be cool too. but-
No.
She ain't
I don't
Straw
want-
Hat.
That'd be alright. If she
I
were
want
stronger.
that bitch crying and all that kind of shit. Fuck
Rebecca?
outta here.
No, Rebecca.
I do have to.
I
Well,
don't know.
I did want Rebecca
You're
to join
saying
at 1.2.
Vivi.
Now I watched when Vivi was running through Alabasta yelling at everyone to stop, and she tripped like 500 times. I was like, okay, I don't want her anymore.
That bitch sucked. No, but then Luffy did punch her in the head, so you gotta respect
Yeah.
it.
I bet she would trip all the way to Raftel.
Bro, she gonna trip over, that's for sure. Bring Ganfor. Fuck it, it's time. Bring him back.
No.
Bring Anil. Anil can be in the crew. I don't know, do some crazy shit. But no, I think the consensus, unfortunately, Carrot. The sad reality.
Katakuri.
I like
Okay,
I like Carrot as a part of the Straw Hats, just like the chemistry she has with with Nami and Luffy, and like even like the relationship with Chopper. Like as much as we all love Chopper, but yeah.
I just feel like it would be she just feels like a random character if she doesn't join. She was just a fun addition during a couple of arcs, but then nothing. I don't know. That would feel out of place.
I feel like at the end of Wano, like Luffy's just gonna offer.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you said off her, the position. I thought you said off her, like kill
Off her. Like, oh my days! Oh dear. No.
I hope so.
Yeah, she's gonna
Wait,
become
no,
the secondary. She's gonna become the second emergency food ration on the group.
Hey, I think at that point probably.
Oh,
She
don't
gets
say that
aura
shit.
breath blast into just dead.
I want
Yo,
Kaido.
what if- no.
Just bring Kaido on the crew.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if Otama feeds him one of the
Oh my god,
balls,
what about
and then
if
Kaido
Tama
gets
joins?
tamed?
Wait. This is a question. Did I put this question down?
Maybe
Honestly,
Tama
I can see
maybe
I can
Tama
see
can join
Otama
the
and
crew.
Momonosuke
Being
being a thing.
siblings. Being siblings.
No.
A thing.
Literally impossible.
Yeah, a man can dream. Wait, has that been revealed yet? I don't know how far the anime is.
We've already spoiled too much, man. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
let's just
Alright.
not.
I'm not going into more.
Well-
But no, that is a question though. That is a question.
Okigu should join. Just saying. Anyway,
Oh,
Okay.
best waifu.
I'm
X.
done.
Yes,
Tell it.
sir.
Tell it.
From at Lele, I'm gonna say I don't want to say KYS because that just sounds rough. Lele P's asks, how do you see the crew defeating Kaido? Nightmare Luffy, Davy back fight? What do you guys
No.
think?
Davy
Backfight's not
Max
happening.
That'd be hilarious though.
Oh,
That's what's gonna happen when they meet Shanks.
Bro, that would be a perfect
Really?
like April Fool's chapter.
You skipped over like 4 fucking. Okay, but sweet.
No, I'm just. It's because it's zoomed in with the right topic. We're talking about defeating Kaido, so here it is. How do you guys think it's gonna happen?
I know you guys have mentioned, Luffy will never defeat Kaido by himself, but if he's gonna be the Pirate King, he has to be the strongest. It has to happen
Bro,
somewhere.
he's not gonna do it by
Not
himself.
necessarily.
The whole thing is that he's
I
strength-
honestly think it's gonna be like a like it's gonna be Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. Something's gonna happen. Zoro's gonna get new swords and he's gonna show his full potential of his power. Luffy's gonna go fucking gear forth something, and then Sanji's gonna be in his raid suit.
I just don't think Kaido is quite as like indestructible as we're led to believe. Like if you think of
Well,
Odin,
yeah, I reckon they're gonna
we can't talk
find a
about manga
weakness.
spoilers, but even Odin was like really fucking strong. So I don't think it's. I think Luffy could get there eventually.
That's true. Yeah,
He
I
does
can
have
kind of
plot
agree with
armor.
that.
He does have plot armor. He's protected. He can't die.
True.
Man, fuck it. Imagine Oda just kills him, and everyone's like, "All right, well, is it over?" He's like, "No, next week there's a chapter, but Luffy is dead." Yeah, I don't know, man.
No one's got plot armor like Law did during Dressrosa. That man did not die no matter what happened.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
That man got
That
shot,
mean-
stabbed, fucking. He got a meteor dropped on him. Nothing could kill that man.
he got his arm sliced, and he was still.
No, it
using
wasn't
that
sliced.
shit.
It was ripped off.
But then he started like controlling that.
It got ripped off, and then he boomeranged it with a sword.
He swung it around. You're like, whoa. Damn. All right. Well.
See, that's why
No.
Law's the goat.
Yeah, I like him now.
Too bad he'll probably die.
No,
Yeah, I know.
No, there's no
Fucking
way.
devil
He's
fruit
he's
power.
more immortal than fucking Kaido.
no,
I'm
he's
You
literally
noticed-
he's devil fruit.
Oh, I was
He-
gonna say
he-
something's manga spoilers.
His devil fruit literally means he's gonna die at some point. It just makes that's the whole point of devil fruit. He can give someone invincibility or make them vulnerable, and he pays the price with his life.
I honestly don't think I don't even think he's gonna do it. I just think he's actually legitimately just gonna die.
You know what? Fucking Luffy's
I
gonna
fucking
die.
hope
I'm
not.
saying that shit. Luffy's gonna die. Hopefully.
Luffy's gonna die, hopefully. Okay.
Man, I wonder if we're ever gonna
Right.
meet Vegapunk. It's been 20 years now.
Oh,
We haven't
true
met
that.
Vegapunk.
Probably soon. They'll do like a Riviere style, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in between
Or-
arc. Maybe at the end of Wano we'll probably see him.
probably
Or
something
maybe,
like that.
maybe it'll be like a cover story, and that's it. There's so much
Because
left.
remember,
man.
because
He's only gonna be in the SBS.
Because
Yeah.
when Kyoto and Tashigi left Punk Hazard, they were heading to see Vegapunk, and
Ooh.
Fujitora before Reverie just
Was-
came back from seeing
yeah.
Vegapunk as well.
Bro, I think
Dude,
like, there's so much shit we have. Like, there's so many things that Oda has started the thread, but
Yeah.
hasn't continued it since the initial point of One Piece until now. That
Dude.
it's just unfathomable how he's gonna manage to condense.
Oh my
everything
god.
together and release.
He's brought this on himself. He's the biggest cock tease of all time. You know what I'm still waiting to see? I'm still waiting to see a Kainu versus Aokiji, and I'm still waiting to see. Do you remember how? You remember how
Let's never
Kaido was
see-
going to show up? Kaido was going to show up during the Paramount War, and Shanks stopped him. We didn't get to see what happened there at all.
Those are those kinds of fights are the things that will never be Like
Yeah,
you
just
never
like,
see.
Nah,
You
they'll
hear
be like at the end of the series. They're like, okay, and
They
here's some
might do
OVAs.
OVAs, yeah. They might do OVAs of
just like some of the stuff that we got in the flashback too.
Yeah. Like they will never maybe like cover stories or SBSs, but like damn, I don't think we'll ever see those kinds of like those fights though.
Yeah.
I'd love to. That'd be fucking sick. Shanks vs. Kaido? Yes, sir.
Jeez.
It's
Yeah.
time. At Robert Hornberg 7 asked, have any of you ever thought about streaming other games like Dark Souls and whatnot? Well, for
Yeah.
those
Man,
that
we have streamed other games.
And so
Yeah.
everyone does.
hey, right now you get to pimp your own channels. I'll give everyone a bit of a spotlight. Starting with Cobby. Go for it, mate.
I play Persona 5 Royale on stream, and I'm going to play Persona 4 Golden on stream very soon. So hopefully my link's in the description.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know. If it isn't, I apologize, but I will add it if it is. But where can they find you regardless, though?
Twitch TV/I'm Cobby, IMCOBBY.
Yes, sir. And Dill, what about yourself, mate?
I stream obviously Treasure Cruise, which you guys would have. I've had a few guys from the GGP fan group in there before, but I also stream Pokemon, Shiny Hunting, and I will hopefully be streaming the Isle of Armor. I also stream. I'm also planning on. I stream some Animal Crossing, and when the PS5 inevitably comes out, I'll be streaming the new Spider-Man game. So yeah, and you can find me at twitch.tv/Dilba_, same as my Twitter, same as my YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Joba, do you have anything you want to pimp?
Yeah, twitch.tv/Joba93. I stream OPTC every now and then whenever I pull or whenever I decide to play a lot, some blitz or whatever. And I play Guitar Hero every now and then. If anyone remembers that.
Man is a beast at Guitar Hero.
This man is very good at Guitar Hero.
Although, I mean, I'm nothing compared to like the big streamers of it, but also it's getting tough now because now they got those strict copyright laws, you know. So
Yeah.
You're gonna play. You can only just hear the clack, 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 clack.
Yeah, or just play every song at like double the speed so the copyright shit can't pick it up. But,
Night, what are you, man?
I don't stream anymore, but when I did, I used to stream like a whole bunch of stuff, like random like Star Wars games that I would play, like Fallen Order, the Lego games and stuff like that, and then Pokemon as well. But when I do start streaming again, I'll probably do all of that stuff again.
No worries. And Todd, go for it.
My name is Todd, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Todd.
Y'all already know it's your boy.
Yeah, Todd has that clout.
Young
Todd streams?
Yeah,
what?
every now and again.
What?
I actually stream on
shit.
Saturday.
I gotta check.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, that's where I know you from.
But yeah, I don't know. Nothing really to plug, really.
Everything should be down below. I will make sure I update that.
Is there any other questions we could go through?
Yeah, of course. There's heaps, man.
There's heaps,
Boys, we appreciate the questions, guys.
At D-Fried Pepe favorite horror franchise. I can probably answer this for everyone. It's probably Resident Evil.
Oh,
for you
easily. I'm a huge Resident Evil stan.
Yes.
I've played that shit since I was a kid.
Your RE8 looking pretty spicy.
I don't.
Dude, I still gotta play 7. I don't know why I haven't played 7 yet, but I need to.
I haven't played it either.
And
I have it even.
You should.
You haven't even played
it.
You're
gonna be scared.
No, I'm busy with. I'm too busy playing my stupid ass gotchas.
True.
Dude, like so that reveal trailer, I was like, dude, surely this is RE8, and then it just wasn't. I was like, damn. And then it did like little flashing. I was like, nice.
I do gotta give a shout out to The Last of Us though. I haven't heard anything about the second one, so don't tell me because I know there was a big controversy about that a while back. But the first one is one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah, it's a good game too. I agree.
I'm trying to think. What other horror franchises are good? I mean, I'm a fucking scaredy cat. So I usually don't like horror in general.
I'm a complete out of it.
Silent Hill's good, but I don't really know. I don't really keep up with those.
RE has like really good characters and stuff, which is why I like
the
it so
gameplay's fun.
It's a really old game now, I think, by modern gaming standards. But I loved Amnesia back in the day. That game was insane. I love that game so much.
We used to go over to one of our friends' house, like 10 of us, and all of us just crowd around the computer and watch you play. Oh, hey, you get hella scared.
Oh no, bro, that game was scary.
That game was fucking scary, bro.
I don't know how much you can consider horror. It does have some horror elements. BioShock, I love that series.
Yeah, that's sort of. Yeah,
I agree.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
you guys ever played the Slender Man game?
At AM1 March asked, did you have any other names in mind for the name of the podcast aside from GGP? And he's like, I hope Golden Pound Podcast is at least considered. That's fucking, that's great. Honestly.
Wait, is he saying like another name for GGP or just another name for the podcast overall?
Just in general.
Another name. Do we have another name for the podcast before we came up with GGP?
Did we?
No, because
I
we
come up with the name.
yeah.
I scrolled through like out that initial group chat and we had nothing there. Like
it was still in the planning stage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how we came up with GGP, to be honest.
Todd dropped it.
Literally
Yeah,
one
Todd just dropped it.
one night. Like we were just like we were just talking. I was like, we need a name, and Todd just said, "How about Good, Great, Perfect?" And I was like, "Yo, that
Yeah, I think we all hyped it up.
Yeah.
I was like, that kind of slabs,
And
bro."
then I started making graphics, and then we're like, "Yeah, this looks pretty good. Let's go with it."
It's not necessarily like straightly like Treasure Cruise. Like it can be a little bit like ambiguous if we wanted to like branch out a little further, which we might if we get to 1K.
I honestly think we should.
We will. We'll get to 1K and then we might start doing a little bit more. But no, like I think initially, so heck, I'm just gonna give a little bit of the whole backstory of like the podcast in general. Actually, we might as well,
Because
right?
people might not know.
So if you guys don't know who this man is, Justin Higaki, you guys probably living under a rock because this guy was one of the biggest Treasure Cruise players. Like he was literally the most content.
He made the Dynasty Discord.
He did like where all the whales.
Where we all met.
Literally, the majority of us. So shout out to that guy. We can use it there.
There you go. That's a good.
That's a funny thing. But yeah, so Justin had the idea of hosting a Dynasty podcast. And then it was meant to be him and Todd and Knight. And then unfortunately Knight wasn't available. So he hit up me, and I think Todd hit up Dylan Cobb. And then we also got Joba or some shit as well.
Yeah.
And Joba was brought in for GM purposes because we threw his webcam, and for some reason, whenever we like started recording or like we were in that private call, Cobb would just be in the center of everything, but he didn't have a webcam at the time, so it'd just be his profile picture on Discord, and it just the rest of us would be around him. So Joe was brought up.
It also worked out like time wise because you guys are in Australia and Justin's in Hawaii, which is like 5 hours before me. It was like 2 a.m. my time, but I was in college. I don't have a life, so I was like,
you weren't doing nothing. But no, so it started over there. Then unfortunately, Justin got really busy and like with school and work and stuff. So
and like we were nagging him a lot to do more podcasts.
Yeah, it was pretty bad an hour and a half. But like we were trying to push. Like I was pushing very very hard because I really wanted to like continue a podcast, which I've always wanted to do one in general. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity. We all play this game. It's quite fun. Like we can all talk about it and stuff. There's lots to talk about as well. Then eventually, like everything kind of fell through. That first ep did great as well. I thought it was quite a good stepping stone into like going further and stuff with it. But yeah, like I said, unfortunately, Justin got very busy and wasn't able to do it. So eventually, I just got everyone in a group chat and we just said, hey, let's do it. Let's set a time. Let's just record it, see what happens. And then after Ep.1, I think we were all kind of feeling it. Then, and then I think because we had a plan and we were writing out like how the episode was structured, and then we kind of just kept rolling and getting guests on the show as well has always been quite exciting. But I think and like we said, GGP just came. Good, Great, Perfect. Just Todd just spat it out of nowhere, and everyone was like, all right, this sticks for sure. So.
Who was the first guest other than Knight? Actually, I don't even know if Knight was the first. Oh yeah.
I was not. Knight was always part of the call.
I know.
Knight didn't join for the first 3 because
he wasn't around. And then the first guest was Rose.
Shout out to that guy.
Oh my god, man! Please shout out to that guy. Max.
No, fuck Rose. He's the one that got the second shout out on the live stream. So
he also won the fucking gems.
Yeah, he won the gem lottery.
Figure at the IRL
and the category
IRL. Shit's fixed.
But that's pretty much the origin story of the cast. So like we're 20 episodes deep. We've almost been doing this for I think it's like 9 months now, more or less.
Really?
I think we're around that much. So we are trucking along. And
I think our first episode was in August.
Yes, that is correct.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's
right.
It's
December. And then
so we took about like a month or so off during December during the holiday period. Everyone was a bit busy with family.
But that's fair enough.
Yeah, 100%. So everyone's a bit busy with family stuff, but then we've been trying to doing our best to make sure we're always doing this bi-weekly. Which
the funny thing is, like, I say this, we've only done 20 episodes, but then again, like 20 episodes, it feels both like a lot and not much at the same time.
I mean, it's just like the length of the eps, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like every episode, minimum an hour long. Heck, sometimes probably on average like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah,
You're like 40 plus hours of content. Plus we have a few GGP extras in there. Plus we have the
I forgot the extras didn't count.
We have the lay interview as well. So like, there's a bunch of other content.
I think we've done like 23 total.
I think 23, 24 like kinds of videos. So of like just chat shit. How have we not run out of stuff to talk about? My question.
Oh shit! How have we not gotten sick of each other yet?
We got more stuff to come.
I'm always sick of all you guys.
I don't like any guys.
That's my secret. I'm always sick of you guys.
That is true. At Nick Dermott for real asked, how do the new limit break ability, sailor ability, and sailor despair impact the game, if at all? Since we are close to getting them on global, so he's asking.
Basically, never impacted the game.
Yeah, I think he directed it at night. He was like, how like have you seen them impact JP, if at all?
Not too much. They only showed up in a couple things like the Raid Bonnie, Kid Forest for a little bit, and the Escape Logtown event. But it might be more common now since, like, at this point in time, if you like been farming TM regularly, you should have like 50, 60, 70 like limit break. No, what are they called? Tablets. Yeah. So maybe they might implement it more.
A question regarding like that. So when new batches get released, do the actual rare recruits have limit break expansion? Or is it just the legends?
No, not the new ones.
Okay.
It's a legend still, which is
just the legends.
I don't like
man.
I haven't used that at all. Like honestly, like 0.
I gotta give my respect to Knight for remembering like specific pieces of content that have had certain debuffs. Like if you held a gun to my head and asked me like, which pieces of content has this, I wouldn't remember.
I don't know, that's something. Yes, that bind. No, it didn't.
Bang.
I guess because he makes content for it, and I mostly just look for teams on YouTube.
Consume the content. I don't make it.
I'll say this: like when you do make content, you do get a knowledge for like what you're doing. Like for example, the other night I was really struggling. I wanted to make a Halloween Ace team for the Server Master thing. I said, Todd, can you give me a hand? I've been trying this for an hour. Whilst I was at work, so I was trying like it was like an hour and a half, but like. I was also working at the same time, so anyway, Todd gets to me late. He goes, "Oh, sorry, let me just check." Yeah, 5 minutes later, here you go. I'm like, you're fucking kidding, right?
Video.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's a night video. Any like actually half decent made team is a night video.
But he goes, "Oh, I just know what they do since I've made so many teams for it now." I'm like, but still, that's nuts.
Yeah. And these weenies on Reddit saying you can't make teams.
All right, now we're not getting into that.
Come at me. Everyone on Reddit, start adding me. Give me an excuse, bro.
It's just funny reading the weenies on Reddit.
Bro, it's too easy to rip on the weenies on Reddit anyway. Mm-hmm. I could start going right now if you want me to, but I'm not.
We'll be here all day.
Another day.
Exactly, we could make a GGP extra.
Just roasting the weenies.
If you want to see that, get this video to 1,000 likes and we'll do it.
Jeez.
That's probably has more subs than we have. So
at Arth Knight asks, which are your favorite movies? Maybe top 3 if you could name those. What are your favorite movies? Maybe not. We'll just go around. Well, what are you guys' favorite movies?
Fuck.
Shit.
Titanic.
All right. Why?
Please, I
want to know why.
It's like a super epic movie. It's got like all the shit with the boat sinking and all. There's like everything. There's like elements of human despair and desperation in a crisis. There's romance, which I'm a big bitch for. There's like the whole poor versus rich struggle. There's all kinds of stuff, and just a movie about a boat sinking.
Try an essay on this at some point.
I've had to defend this shit in the past. So.
Oh, you've had okay, bad. I think for me, probably Silver Linings Playbook is probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
What was her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yep.
Brad Cooper, I think.
Oh yeah.
Probably one of my favorite films.
I also got to give a shout out to my favorite superhero movie, which is other than Endgame, which that speaks for itself. X-Men: Days of Future Past is an insane movie. It's so good.
That was done quite well.
Yeah,
I watched it so many times.
Some of my favorite movies, though, like number one is Zombieland, the first one. I really,
yeah,
really
yeah,
like
yeah.
that movie.
That's your number one.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen
like, it's all the story because like I saw it with my brother and my my sister-in-law and like it's just that it's got that family ties and like we all love it. I love a comedy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then like I love the Marvel franchise as well. So there's obviously like a movie. Probably my other two are from that franchise, to be honest.
Yeah. Dale, have you seen Shaun of the Dead? It's like a British kind of
Yes.
equivalent.
That's a great
Yeah.
film as well.
Yeah,
That's a
I've
good
seen
film.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I've seen that.
For the rest of the cast, what do you guys think? Favorite films?
I'm
tough.
trying to think. I've only got two at the moment. I'm trying to come
That's
up
fine.
with
Like
more.
we'll just hit them. Might
So
as well.
so okay, I don't know what numbers they are, but these two I like Inception.
Yep, that's
Very
definitely-
original
Ooh.
film, really well shot,
Overrated.
great story. And
Yep.
the other one is Zodiac.
Never seen it.
Oh, yeah,
Zodiac
never-
is a
never seen
film
that.
by David Fincher, and it has Jake Gyllenhaal
Mm.
and Robert Downey Jr. is in it, I think, as well,
RDJ.
and Mark Ruffalo, I think.
Hmm.
I
Was
can't
it
remember.
Avengers?
Oh,
Tough,
okay. So I found another one. So I've got my three now. It's Zombieland, Now You See Me, and
Oh yeah, okay.
and
I never saw the second one.
and Kingsman, the first one.
Oh,
Oh
Kingsman's a good
man,
film.
that's so good.
Kingsman's actually a good film.
I love Kingsman.
Those are my favorite movies at the moment.
I can't go past the
That-
classic like Pulp Fiction or like
Oh,
Back
yeah,
to the
Pulp Fiction,
Future. Like
fantastic.
the
Dude.
movies that I loved as a kid.
I love
Um,
Tarantino.
Train to Busan, I love.
Oh,
I
that was
love
Oh,
that
yeah.
movie
yeah,
so
that
much.
that
was
was such a
pretty
good
good.
movie.
Very good.
Yeah.
Shawshank's always a
I was about to
classic.
say Shawshank is
Yeah.
Oh, that,
I
bro,
still
that
haven't seen
year,
it.
Blindside.
I haven't seen Shawshank.
bro,
Have you guys
that
seen
year
The
of
Blind
films, the blind. I've
Oh
seen
yeah, yeah.
Blindside. Like,
seen that,
bro, the amount of times I've watched Blindside in religion class in school, man.
Oh,
I've written like 6 essays on that fucking film, bro. But yet it still makes me tear up every time I watch it. It's such
Yeah,
a
see,
good
Yeah.
my school was the same thing, but with Shawshank.
Correct. I did Shawshank as well.
It's a good film. Like that year for films, like when Shawshank came out, like there was so many bangers.
Another one that I did for school was To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did
that was common.
Another good film that I really like is 12 Angry Men, black and white movie.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
good.
That's a very good movie.
Fight
It's very
Club.
old.
Fight Club. Hey, we don't talk about that.
Don't talk about Fight Club, bro.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
The
Any of you
great-
guys
David
into-
Fincher film I love. I love Seven. Oh my god, it's good.
Never seen it.
I heard that's good.
Brad Pitt.
Are any of you guys into horror movies?
Not so much.
I like
my
them.
favorite. Yeah, my favorite horror movie is The Ring. That's a good ass movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I like the Scream series personally.
Juicy.
When I was a kid, like really little, I would have nightmares about Gremlins. That movie
Hey,
is
yeah.
probably the scariest PG movie of all time.
Actually-
100. Same, bro. For real.
Actually,
bro.
and now that you mention it, like I used to actually have nightmares about the girl from The Ring, but because of Scary Movie 3, and then it wasn't until I saw The Ring like years later that I got
Yeah.
that I got over it because it was a good ass movie. That was just
Alien
scary
is
though.
pretty good.
And then,
Alien is very good.
That's true.
Django.
Dude, I just love
Django
movies.
Unchained. That's a
I
good
just
one.
love movies in general.
every Tarantino movie is a.
I was about
Yeah,
to say
Tarantino
anything
goes in,
Tarantino
dude.
makes.
Yeah.
Once Upon a
Yeah,
Time in
like
Hollywood was so
Tarant-
damn.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it
Tarantino
yet.
and,
It's
Christopher
so
Nolan movie, like The Dark Knight. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
was
think we could go on forever.
Not yet.
There's
Yeah.
so many good films out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't
we
pick
can do a
three,
whole
man.
episode about just talking about
Every
movies.
movie that we said just now, you have to watch.
Maybe a DGP extra video on just films and shit. Why not, right?
Oh, you beat me to it, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Dylan, is that the movie where it's Jennifer Lawrence and
By the way.
Can we
Yes.
can we
Yeah.
can we tell the
Okay.
story?
Hey,
I know,
Yeah,
I know
we
this is
got
controversial, but
debated.
I think you guys kind of told me that story. I actually really like that movie.
We just got debated because it was not what we expected.
The
It looked like a
trailers-
sci-fi thriller, and it turned out to be a romance, and not a good romance. It was creepy as shit.
And we're
No,
like
I-
sitting there, like the funny
liked
thing,
it.
it took us a little bit too long to realize what the fuck that we've done. So like, it got about 3/4 of the way through the movie. We looked at each other like, yeah, we've made a mistake here. And then we started like looking at the audience, like, yeah.
There's like there's all these couples in the theater, and then you got these like three dudes sitting at the back. Oh my god!
I don't think we mentioned what movie we're talking about. We're talking about Passengers with
Yeah, Passengers.
It was a
Yeah.
kind of recent movie.
That happened. That happened to me when I went to go watch La La Land. I had
I haven't seen La La Land.
I forgot that probably is like maybe my second or my number one favorite film. I had no idea how it would be or why, but like we literally the same thing happened to us. We're just in the cinema like, what should we watch? We just looked up ratings. Like, oh, La La Land has a good rating. Let's go watch it. And like we sit down in the first 5 minutes, it just starts turning into a musical, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? Like this is the wrong movie. We just kept watching and just kept watching. We just got so engaged in the film because it was so well made. And I was like, all right, bet this will be fun. I watched like 4 more times afterwards. I was like, oh my god.
The movie that we saw recently this year, 1917, at the start.
Yeah,
of the
that was
year,
really cool.
I loved that movie. Holy shit!
A World War I movie.
It dragged a little bit, but like it's to be expected from the whole like one shot thing. But it was really
It's actually crazy how like they made it look just like a
yeah.
Like that's so much talent in that.
But I tell you what movie series I really couldn't get into. Like I felt like it was like extremely overrated. Was the Hunger Games.
Yep, no, I agree.
I liked it.
I didn't like it.
The
I
book's
liked it.
great.
I'm a massive fan of the books, and the movies don't come
the
close.
books were like genuinely amazing. Like they were really good reads. But the ending, splitting I swear the final part was split into 2 parts, correct?
Yeah, like Harry Potter.
And like, why?
They still missed.
And they still missed. Both parts did not hit. At least Harry Potter, like, both like the last
Harry Potter was good, yeah.
were really good. They wrapped up really well. Like,
yeah, obviously people are gonna say like they cut out so much from the books, but like you can't fit literally
No,
everything.
of course.
No, they changed a lot of it though.
yeah,
that
the
was
issue
the
was
issue.
they changed a lot of the story.
They didn't just cut it; they changed it.
I'm sure we're getting like a Netflix series of each damn Harry Potter book at some point.
I would not be mad. Honestly,
Yeah, neither.
I would not. I'd watch that.
I'm someone who has to watch the Harry Potter series at least once a year.
Yeah, no, I probably just watch it by accident. I mean, it just appears, you know.
Yeah, so like I've recently watched the Harry Potter series with my niece,
Bet.
and now she's a Harry Potter nut.
I just thought, why didn't you watch it with your eyes? With your
Oh my
Come
God,
on.
I'll excuse myself from the cast for now.
The next question, dude. So back to Treasure Cruise.
I could talk about movies all day.
At Kalon Vonage asks, should snail rewards be renewed? If so, how?
Yes.
Yes, they
How?
should have been renewed
Just
a while
yes.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Limit break materials.
Yep.
Yeah.
Higher chance of stam refills.
Supports.
Support
USBs.
medals would be great.
USBs.
Right, a
They-
chance
they-
for legend.
Yeah, USBs would be nice.
They need to modernize what you're getting out of them because what's in it at the moment is
Turtles,
just
belly,
like it's great for back
gems.
in what
Cola. Let's
When
go.
I see a cola,
Yeah.
I want to fucking punch myself in the face.
It's like, yeah, when you see Cole's like, well, may as well have not clicked on it.
Thanks. This is useless.
Thanks, I wasted 5 seconds and another minute looking for it.
At least we don't have to tweet it out anymore.
Oh,
I know, right?
had to make
Yeah.
alt tweet accounts just to.
going through someone's Twitter account and liking
No.
all of the snail posts.
Yeah, I just had it hooked up to my main account, and then I would hope to remember to go back and delete them all, or people would think
That's
I'm a weenie.
effort, though,
You know,
dude. That's so much effort.
I had all these IRL people I knew thinking, "What the fuck is this guy looking like?"
I'm in a new
I'm
island.
in Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
Wait,
We
did
just
you,
Thriller Park, you know what?
wasn't there
the
like
one
an
that was
interesting
really-
fact about the statistics on that, Todd?
Yeah, like Treasure Cruise was like the #1 most tweeted about game on Twitter during one of the years.
Really?
Because it had
Yeah,
the
because of
hashtag
the
Treasure
snails.
Cruise,
That's crazy.
and because of all the snails, it just kept tweeting out. So like Treasure Cruise was like the
Damn.
#1 most tweeted game for a year.
The one that I would always go and delete like right away was Alabasta because it had towel on me, and I didn't want people to know that I was, you know.
Oh god. I guess so. This one was kind of tying into like us jerking off Shank's crew for like an hour. But at Lucid Orbitalist asks, would you rather have Shank's crew or one of the Annie legends except Snake Man V2?
Katakuri.
Shank's crew.
Shank's crew.
Katakuri,
I
Blackbeard,
like
and Saba are not as good.
I
as
like
Shanks.
Blackbeard a lot, though. I agree that Shank's crew's better, but I like Blackbeard a lot.
Blackbeard's a really cool dude.
Did you see that TSF did a 1 bill damage run on
Yeah.
Akama? The first
Yep.
legit 1 bill run. Like, do you know how fucking crazy that is? That's so much damage.
Can you get away with it with running a friend though?
Yeah, he ran a friend. I'm fairly sure.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, which is insane. Like, holy fuck, like that's nuts.
Well,
But
I don't have those, so.
But all right, this is fucking jabroni. No, I'd say Shanks Crew. All the legends except Snake Man V2, I'd be Shanks. 100%. I want Shanks Crew.
I'd probably but then if you add Kid, I don't know, Kid's pretty.
Oh,
cool.
does Kid count now? Like, are we counting Kid?
I wouldn't think
I don't
Kid's
think so.
it's not anniversary.
Different banner.
All right, cool.
And fuck Kid. He's just a copy of. I don't even remember what he does. Move on. I'm sorry.
What are you need?
I'm sorry.
He is the first unique
You can't
we've
talk
had in a
that
long
shit
time.
and not come prepared.
You got to find other people in here that have the knowledge.
Man said he doesn't like them, but don't remember what he does.
This guy's saying that this guy, the type of guy, but yeah, bro, Hawkins and Category V2, same unit, man. They do the same thing.
Isn't he like a green Snake Man?
He does bomb shit, man. Like, come on. Like,
God
no
damn
one
it.
does
All right.
that.
I'll be prepared next time before I open my mouth.
All right, next time, hey, this guy pull up one smoke when he drive away, bro. Honestly, he can't even handle smoke.
It's been a long day.
At Straw Hat Goose asks, if you had to pick a devil fruit, which one would it be?
Well, you've rephrased that.
Yeah, I did.
So the original question is if we had to give a
This
devil fruit
guy,
to each other.
I do the questions. I make it.
Actually, no, Cobby's the question master. Thank you very much.
I'm not. Cobby does fuck all with the questions now. But, no, I think if you want to do the original, we can do the original. But I just made it so it's just straightforward. Like if you had devil fruit, what would it be?
I think it's easier this way.
Yeah, it saves us having to name it for everyone else. But yeah, because this was brought to me on stream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
He asked it on Twitter too, as well. He's everywhere, that kid. But what devil fruit? I mean, like I think the obvious one for me is the Clag no me. It has to be, right?
Let's go.
I mean, yeah, and you'd look like Opera, but instead it's
It's glue.
It's glue.
That's my devil fruit awakening. I look normal, and then when I devil fruit awaken, my whole body just turns to glue.
Comes to the Clag monster. It's time.
You would be one sticky man.
Oh, Trevor, get out.
Yikes. Come on, man.
Because it's glue. He's covered in glue. Come on.
Well, I think, obviously for me, it's the Clag fruit.
Jobert's the furry no me.
Turns into...
No. That doesn't sound useful at all.
No, you're the furry no me. You just make your body extremely furry.
Oh my god!
I'm ever
You like Trump when he goes into guard point.
I'm already like that now.
It's like his own.
What?
Run it back. Man, just said I'm really like that now.
Man. I can't even grow a proper beard. I'm just I'm capping.
Weak, boys.
Nightmare really be posting the video while we're in the podcast?
I've already watched
it. Dude, how to be recording a video in the middle of a podcast of like legend news.
Like for 30 minutes in the podcast, he goes like, "Yeah, actually, that topic's pretty good, but I think we should do this." Like, right, what about the rest of you? So if Jober's got the
does it have to be a devil fruit that like is already existing?
No, just make it up. If you want to make it up, make it up. So I've got the Clag no me. Jober's got the furry no me. What about the rest of you?
I've got two different ones. Like one's already one, and then one that I kind of made up just on the spot now.
Do the made up one.
Okay, so the made up one is like, I don't know what the name of it would be, but be able to like phase through people and objects.
Be Barry Allen.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
phase through people.
You can like phase through people. So like, if they go to punch you, you can phase through them.
See,
and, like,
I think we should stick to devil fruits because this is just turning into what superpower would you like to have?
Well, that's fine.
That's what devil fruits are.
He has the phase no me. There you go, done.
The Danny Phantom fruit.
But then like I could potentially like hold something and then I could throw it and make that phase through someone as well.
Interesting.
That could be pretty cool.
Straight up. All right, what are the rest of you? So we have the Clag no me, we have the phase no me, we have the
the phase no me. Does that mean I can hit my snipes really good?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
You to 720.
Mom, get the camera.
Oh, baby, a triple. All right, we got 3 more. I need 3 more devil fruits.
Now that we're making them up, I have to fucking think.
I know, that's what I was just thinking as well.
Big brain
I
time.
know, someone else can name it for me. I want boomerang powers.
Yo, let's go.
Be like Vanderdecken power, but I'm throwing boomerangs.
What
You know,
call it?
I'm a lazy bastard, so I've always wanted to have telekinesis.
Oh, you've got the furry one. You keep...
God damn, that's so fair. You guys get the figure.
We forced him into it. Damn, bro.
I don't want to be hairy. I don't want to be hairy unless I'm stuck in like in a mountain where it's cold.
I've always wanted like teleportation.
Yeah, teleportation would be sick.
Telly no me. The telly
The telly
the abra-
me.
Telly no me.
The abra. I mean,
the abra no me. That works. We can do that. That's cool.
Uh,
What's boomerang one with boomerang one?
Boomer no me.
Boomer.
Okay, boomer.
so kind of like Cody did.
Nah,
Okay.
nah, the Bruda no me.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
We need Knight's Devil Fruit.
What? Okay,
Uh,
Google, chill.
I don't know, man. Maybe I always wanted to teleport, something like that, but I don't know. That's kind of like Room.
True.
You're right. You can have Lord's Devil Fruit, I guess.
Let's go.
Well, the thing is, Laws is based around you can only do it in the room, so he can like separate stuff. If you're teleportation, you can like teleport
it's the
further
room.
distances.
It's
So-
the room. So whatever's in that particular room, he has to use.
Yeah, whereas
Like,
I'm thinking more like instant
You
transmission.
got the telly one. You
Yeah.
can go wherever. But Knights is just within the room. He just goes everywhere. All right, there you
The
go.
jumper no me.
Yeah,
Like that movie.
I rate it. So I've got the Clag no me. Cobb's got the Boomer no me. Dill's got the Abra no me. Joba's got the Furry no me.
I take issue with that.
Oh, that's doesn't matter. Knight's got the room no me. And then Todd, what was Todd's again? Phase no me. There you go. That's all.
Okay, this is like. Never mind. I
What?
forgot.
No, you don't have to say
I'm
it. Like
so
we're almost on the path. Just say it. Like you might as well.
No, I forgot what I was trying to reference. Even it's like,
What?
fuck, I'll come back to it. God damn it!
Okay. The last final question from @Christo8.
Oh, I got it.
Oh my!
I'm sorry, man. I'm just throwing everything off. Okay,
Hit it.
all right. You guys know that episode of Family Guy where they all get like superpowers, and then Megs is like the really shitty one where she gets like she can grow her nails a little bit big.
Oh,
That's
That's kind of like what's going on here. I got the nails power. You guys get all these badass superpowers.
Hey,
Joe's got the Johnny Joe star.
Is that a JoJo reference?
Hey.
All right, let's
@Christo85660305. Are you going to collab with other podcasts in the future?
I don't think everyone's going to want to collab with us.
No one to collab with us, but
all right, we'll hit up Joe Rogan.
I already messaged him. He said, "Nah, I haven't got time." I said, "That's fine, bro."
Fuck.
Hey, but on that note, though, we're gonna have a few collaborations lined up. I already got a few planned myself that I have. The guys don't even know what I've been planning, but it's fine.
Oh,
I've been doing stuff behind the scenes.
I stay doing stuff behind the scenes. But on that note, though, thank you all for listening to another episode of GGP. We really do appreciate episode 20. We're 20 eps in, and hopefully we're still all really enjoying ourselves making this content.
Joba just said he's already got the furry near me, so
I think we still have. I think 20 eps is just at. We're not even getting started, man.
we haven't hit our stride yet.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't even hit our stride in terms of not even just Treasure Cruise alone. Like there's still so much to talk about with Treasure Cruise, especially with the game always getting content updates galore and stuff. There's always things to talk about, and it will just continue going on until we can't, pretty much. So, like I said, thank you all for listening to episode 20. You can find us on YouTube, obviously, Good Great Perfect, on Twitter and Instagram @GGP Podcast there, where you can ask us questions, suggest us topics you want us to talk about. We're all there. Make sure you follow us on both those platforms. You can find us on Anchor, Good Great Perfect, and our Anchor distributes to a plethora of platforms, being Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, where you can listen and review the podcast there as well. I do check from time to time, so if you guys want to leave reviews there, we greatly appreciate it. That would be like we mentioned at the very start of this episode. We're almost at 1K. We are currently, as of this episode, 28 subs away, so we're ever so slightly reaching that point of 1K. So please, if you haven't yet, make sure you do subscribe. It will help us out a great deal. And make sure if you did enjoy the content today, you give us a like, and that does tell YouTube essentially that you like our content, and it will push it to other people as well. Without further ado, though, I've been Captain Puppy, Cobb, Dill, Joba, Knight, Todd. Thank you for listening to the episode of Good Great Perfect. We'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.